coming out from both of our players. Both of our teams here going to absolutely rock it here. So it looks like we are going to actually see a Gengar Cramorant setup coming from the left-hand side, of course, with that Hoopa, Machamp, and Slowbro. On the other side of the field, looking a lot, we see that Slowbro and the Hoopa, but looking mighty different with Cinderace probably going to the jungle, Serena, Blastoise, I would imagine, Serena on bottom, and a solo Blastoise on top. Gonna see some very interesting strategies coming into this game number 1. And honestly, for all things considered, these two setups are a little bit more indicative of the pre-patch meta. I would say this is definitely a little bit closer to what we saw before the buffs, and certainly before the inclusion of Espeon.
Hello, hello.
So we are going to go ahead and get our matches started here. Yep, that is a Ghastly starting out there in the jungle for the side of gZero. On the side of OTN, we have that Cinderace in the jungle. No surprises there. Already, though, the 3-on-3 getting started here in the bottom. Are there overextensions? No, it doesn't look like we're going to see it, but it looks like gZero already pushing up on that Adeno. And it looks like they're actually going to secure it on that one. Really aggressive stuff already coming out here in this early game. Absolutely incredible stuff so far, and really pushing that aggression early on, securing those early levels is super important, especially for this first Dreadnought fight. Absolutely. Teams are going to go ahead and health back up. We see junglers coming into the top, getting ready for those bees to fight it off. We'll see who's able to come out with the best of the experience coming up. Here we go, everything's getting started. We're going to see bees mostly go to the side of gZero here on the top. In the meantime, on the bottom, looks like that experience is going to go leftwise for the most part. That's gZero getting a lot of that early experience. And actually starting to put pressure on that top goal. That's 23 in there. And already more pressure on the attack. The Hoopa calling back. And no one going to die off of that exchange, surprisingly. And no first blood drawn quite yet. But we do see that Hoopa and Slowbro from Team OTN coming in for the attack. But not really going to get much out of it. Playing a little bit more passively than they were in the early game. In the meantime, on top, that is 52 points already scored on the side of gZero. Certainly going to help out with that early Rotom fight if they're able to break that top goal early. And really, really good pressure being put on by that team. It's not so much about the scoring ability and the amount of points that's certainly important in this early game. It's more about having that first goal zone broken or ready to put some pressure with that Rotom to kind of continue that top laning strategy as we're moving forward. 20 seconds here until the second wave of bees and another 40 until objectives. We're seeing a lot of passive play as junglers get into place. We're seeing the 4-on-4 here on bottom lane. Pretty classic stuff. Here comes that first Adeno, and not sure which side that's going to go to, but here it comes, everyone in that fight. The callback is going to happen from that Squirtle, and the Slowbro from Team OTN is going to be the first to fall in this team fight. In the meantime, gZero pushing back, not overextending too far. The other Hoopa is going to put out the callback, get a little bit of health for himself in the process, and now they're going to wiggle their way down as this first Dreadnought's coming up. A little bit of passive play coming from gZero, and the hyperspace hole coming out from both teams. Oh my goodness, it looks like that right side team, yeah, they're gonna get that Dreadnought, no problem. That's OTN, good stuff to them, able to come out with it there and getting some kills off. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3 gone from gZero. What a misplay. Unfortunately, that Ghastly is going to be the only thing defending, but there's 1 gone, and a Unite is actually going to come out from the Cinderace, but the 3 KO streak coming out from the Gengar, mitigating a lot of that scoring damage, and they're only going to see 40 in that goal before OTN is ready to come back down and get ready for the next part of the fight. And actually, that Cinderace barely getting away, eking their way away, and same thing with that Squirtle coming down, but it looks like everybody's coming back down for the team fight, try and finish off the experience. In the meantime, up top, we see gZero trying to make up for what they lost in the bottom goal zone. by trying to put some pressure up top. This is a very even game, and Rotom's looking untouched. Hyperspace Hole is coming out. It looks like gZero is ready to make a push for this Rotom. Here it comes, that Hoopa getting everything started. Unfortunately, nobody's there with him, and it looks like he's going to be by himself for that. In the meantime, that Cinderace, the jungler for Team OTN, is going to keep getting that experience. There's another Hyperspace Hole, getting the teammates up there. There we go! Starting to get some KOs now on that Cinderace here up top. And here comes the Unite coming out from Blastoise. It's going to end up KOing that Gengar. In the meantime, let's take a look at the bottom just real quick. Kind of refresh on things. Not really too much going on with the two people from OTN on the bottom. This is looking mighty uneven in terms of the fight. And yeah, it's just going to be a free Rotom. Here comes this Hyperspace Hole, and it's just a Cinderace to defend against it. It's not a whole lot of HP, but they have a whole team to burn. Hyperspace Hole coming out from Team OTN's Hoopa, but perhaps it's a little too late. Is anybody going to get in there and stop this Rotom? It doesn't look like it. Yes, that's going to go freshly to gZero, and with the second Dreadnought coming in 3 seconds, it's actually going to be huge for Team gZero, able to put that pressure on top, but here comes the team fight, and the Hoopa Unbound Unite is going to be coming out and bringing all of OTN back down. This is actually really good for them. They're going to get this for free, so they're definitely leading that experience game, and here comes the Hoopa Unbound from gZero coming out. But not enough is going to come out of it. Going to have to use that berry and eat up. But they are playing the retreating game as it's a 5-on-2 against this Machamp and Hoopa Unbound. They're just going to go ahead and back off. They're going to overstack with a solid and healthy amount of 33 overstack. Very good stuff. And the first tier goal zone broken on bottom by Team OTN, but it looks like in the middle of our scuffle here on bottom, it looks like gZero was able to equalize on top a little bit more and take that top goal zone. So it looks like we're just farming for experience right now, getting ready for that second Rotom fight. Extremely crucial to put pressure on right before that Zapdos fight is coming in. In the meantime, a little bit of a scuffle down here. Defense coming out from the Slowbro. It looks like everybody's just making their way, trying to get as much experience as possible before this next team fight, and before this next Rotom. Hyperspace Hole is coming out. It looks like Team gZero is starting to make a push on this team fight. Here comes the Unite from the Blastoise. Yes, those 3-minute Unites coming out, absolutely for sure. There it is. 1, 2, 3. There's the Serena, and it looks like OTN's getting the better of the push. Machamp has something to say about it, though. But here comes the Serena doing the big damage, and of course, that Blastoise coming in, and it looks like OTN's gonna try and make up in scoring on the top, and win that side of things as well. Now it looks like OTN is in the lead by 90 points, as the Hyperspace Hole is coming out, with 9 seconds left to go until this Rotom starts coming in. It is not looking good for Team gZero at the current moment in time, because here comes this Blastoise and the Serena working on this Rotom, but Slowbro and Gengar able to make the better of the HP that they have and able to actually take them down. Here comes the Hyperspace Hole, and now gZero turning around this top. In the meantime, scoring on bottom from OTN, really just trying to put some pressure and mitigate the quantity of players that are able to contest this Rotom. But, oh, what a steal coming out from OTN there. Very good stuff from that Cinderace, actually turning around and wasting time for those two people, and that's a 2 KO streak from Cinderace. They're going to have to deal with this with the Zapdos fight coming in 30 seconds. In the meantime, here on the bottom, bit of a scramble, trying to see if they can burn that last minute Dreadnought. Looks like gZero is all up on it, but they do have the person advantage as that Cramorant falls. There comes the Slowbro in with the Surf, and the right side team, that's OTN, is able to secure the final Dreadnought of the fight, and they end up just sacrificing this top goal zone for scoring, but that's going to be a fresh 100 inside of the top gold zone from the Cinderace, since they did not contest that that Rotom at all. And of course, the middle gate's going to be open up. Here come the Hoopa Unbounds, and the team fight is getting started. It looks like the better is going to OTN, really pushing back the top side of things for Team GSN, as the Cramorant is the first to fall. There goes the Hoopa, about to fall. There he goes. Blastoise coming in. Absolutely incredible stuff, and then everybody just falling in the bloodbath on the left-hand side, and we see a 200-point lead, and the freest Zapdos I've ever seen in my life. Everybody's got 50 points. Is the left side team going to defend this? That's gZero not able to come out with it. There's one for the Cinderace, a nice 96, and we are just seeing points after points after points and no way of defending, and it looks like this game one is going to go handily to Team OTN. Good stuff to them. Absolutely insane. 814 to 108, and there's still more points coming. They are actually able to get a couple of those people down from that right side team. That's 3 of them, and now it looks like they're going to have to play a little bit of defense on that right-hand side, but they should be looking set. Even if everyone scores 100 right now, that's not going to be enough for that left side team, but if they're able to make their stacks properly, who knows what kind of pressure they can put in the last 30 seconds. Here comes the 88 points, only an overstack of 8 in that first tier goal zone. But it looks like the defense is going to come out through here because everyone is back. Everyone is back from Team OTN to come and defend this. Yep, here comes the big team fight. Everyone's coming out. Actually popping in the side of gZero at this point, but with 14 seconds left to go and 600 points difference, precisely 600 points that is, there's just no possible way they're able to make it through. And that's going to be that's going to be OTN with the victory in this first game. Good stuff to Team OTN. They're able to pull out just some incredible stuff right there. Really good stuff on their part, taking that game number 1. Alright, here it is. Game number 2, that left side team having that advantage. Game 1 pivotal advantage here for this first round. And all of the different characters coming out. It looks like gZero is going to make a switch into that Sylveon as opposed to their previous lineup. Looks like a lot of the same is coming out from OTN. Still see that Cinderace pulling the jungle and really not going to have to make too many adjustments there. So the biggest change is going to be that Sylveon coming out from gZero. Here we go. We're getting everything started here in this next match. What is able to come out of this game this time? What does OTN have in store for us? Or is it going to be gZero that's able to pull together that adaptation and come back around for this setup? So it looks like, yep, both Serenas are going to be coming out on top. My apologies, that actually is a change from last time. I do remember them a champ from OTN, so a little bit of an adjustment there. Looks like that first Adeno is going to go to the side of Team OTN, getting that experience early, and a lot of this aggressive pressure. Actually, that Hoopa is taking a lot of damage, but they're not quite able to come out with it and kill him. In the meantime, that Squirtle is pushing very far, so is that Slowpoke from that left-hand side. In the meantime, here comes the Sylveon trying to get a good punish off, not really able to get stuff. So we almost saw early kills starting us out, but not really too much action going to be happening. I mean, that was just really insane pressure. And once again, this early experience matters a lot more than I think a lot of people give it credit for. Simply because that first Dreadnought fight is extremely crucial. It can turn the tides of the match completely within an instant. So we are going to see those junglers coming up for this Bees fight. It looks like Serena's going to go off for the core fish, and it's going to be gZero making the first push. And yes, that Gengar hiding in the bush, catching the overextension on that Serena. But it looks like, oh my goodness, they're just going to trade Serenas. That's all that happened up top. Really interesting exchange coming out, and the Gengar is going to push back. In the meantime, we see the Hyperspace Hole already online for that left side Hoopa. It looks like they got the better Bees for sure in the experience, and we're able to kind of push that advantage. We're going back down to the team fight now that Sylveon is actually pushing up, getting some jabs, getting some pokes. That Slowbro trying to get some stuff of his own, trying to steal the Adeno. Not able to come out with it though. In the meantime, that Wartortle and that Hoopa are pushing together, really trying to put some pressure on these two teammates, but not really able to come out with a kill or anything like that. In the meantime, we do see this kind of fight up top. Neither team able to get that top scoring advantage that's so crucial for that first Rotom. So it looks like we are going to go pretty much even here into the second wave of Beeves, and coming up 45 seconds left until those first objectives. Here come the pushes. Slowbro tries to punish with the Surf. Not really going to come out with it. Here come the junglers. And actually, the Cinderace is going to rotate top. So it's going to be a 4-on-3 battle here in the bottom as that first Adeno kind of pokes his head out. And then Adeno, not sure which side that went to an advantage, but that Haunter is going to push super far into OTN's territory, and that's going to be a kill for gZero, pushing them all the way back. Here come the Bees, and that experience is turning down the other way, mostly going to the side of gZero in this uneven 4-on-3 fight. Good stuff from the Slowbro, pushing out the Surf, and here comes the Hyperspace Hole. In the meantime, it looks like on top that Serena was actually able to get a lot of experience from OTN, so we're seeing good stuff from both sides of the field coming into this Dreadnought fight. Looks like OTN's going to be the first one on the playing field, starting out that Dreadnought, making gZero kind of walk and put on that pressure. Everyone's coming out for the team fight, and there goes that Haunter putting on the damage, but it looks like OTN is actually able to come out with the Dreadnought somehow, some way. You never really know in this world, and they're able to put on enough pressure to kind of turn things around. OTN, the better team, as we saw from the last event, and actually very wisely not breaking that bottom goal zone as to not give the Adenos an experience to their right side team. So very, very good awareness there by that Slowbro to not score and kind of push that advantage. That's super high level play right there from Team OTN. Meantime, this Rotom is looking untouched, but here comes the Hyperspace Hole from gZero, wanting to get an objective started and see if they're able to trade goal zones and kind of get this pressure up top. It looks like they're going to have their whole team. It's going to be a 5-on-3 going into this Rotom, but still, OTN is the first to crack at it, put on that pressure, and it looks like gZero is all pushed back. In the meantime, that Cinderace is going to go ham on the Rotom all by himself, and yes, he is able to get it. That is Team OTN winning yet another objective here. Now it's on gZero to be able to get that defense going. So here it is, 1, 2, 3. That Rotom is putting on the pressure. In the meantime, the Slowbro and the Gengar are trying to push up, trying to do damage and make sure that they're not able to push on in on the side of OTN, but it looks like they're not able to come out with it because that Gengar is going to fall the main damage dealer, and so now that Slowbro has to fall back and do some damage, and that Serena's going to fall. Here come the Unites. The Unite from OTN going to hold the opposing Slowbro in place, who doesn't have a Unite, and they're going to break the top goal zone first. It's a KO streak of 4 coming up top. In the meantime, so many scores coming out in 158-0. Scoring in the early game doesn't necessarily matter, but when you got an advantage like this coming into the Dreadnought fight with both experience and scores, and that tier 1 goal zone broken, you're just looking at insane things coming out here in the next 18 seconds. Looks like that Hyperspace Hole, though, is going to come out from gZero, try and get things started, and killing that enemy Hoopa is actually huge for them. It means they're going to be able to get the jump on this objective, assuming that the Hoopa has the Unite, and he certainly does. So they are ready for this fight coming out. Gengar trying to put on the pressure and do as much damage as possible. And is that Hoopa Unbound going to come out from either side? There it is from gZero. There it is from OTN. It looks like the Haunter's going to be, or the Gengar is going to be first to fall. That's actually huge for them. Their biggest damage dealer is gone. That's Slowbro, now gone for gZero. OTN doing an amazing job securing kills here. That's 3, that's 4 gone. And then this Hoopa is left here by himself. That's Maddie trying to put on the pressure and steal, but it's not going to be enough. Good stuff to OTN putting on that pressure. Now they are for sure going to break that goal zone with an overstack of 38. So really good stuff from him on just now breaking the goal zone. And they are going to go ahead and back off, get ready for the next team fight, and they are just walking straight up for that Rotom. gZero not quite able to come out with the adjustment, and unfortunately, just going to falter here in this match, but anything's possible when Zapdos is on the table, so you certainly have to look out for what's coming forward. All that experience just going into the hands of OTN right now, farming as much as they possibly can. Same for the side of gZero, but it looks like the jump on Rotom just barely able to scroll over in time to watch them. They just burn that so fast, and now the defense that's gonna have to be played by gZero, they're gonna have to be so careful here as far as what they're able to do, not winning a single objective. Now they really have to push Zapdos in order to have any shot at taking this W and bringing it to a game 3. They are scoring completely on bottom. The Hoopa Unbound is actually coming in now, which is not good for the side. I believe that was actually OTN, so that might actually be something huge that's coming in later into that Dreadnought fight, because that, or that Zapdos fight, excuse me, because that is certainly very, very late to be using a Unite, especially as a supporter with that 2-minute timer on it. But yeah, here comes the scoring pressure from OTN, just putting all this pressure on gZero up top. trying to get as much done as possible, and that Gengar is going to mitigate a lot of what's happening. But here come the scores on bottom, and we see a 300-0 coming into the Zapdos fight. So even if they win Zapdos, the right side team, that's gZero, has to be incredibly careful with how they push this upcoming fight. They need to make sure they have all 50s. All 50-point stacks coming into what's going on next. And it looks like, yeah, they're just going to come down and burn Dreadnought. OTN has no reason not to. They have the resources and the well-timed hyperspace hole gonna come out with it, and yet even more experience. We're seeing level 14 supports, which is kind of insane. Coming into the Zapdos fight, OTN has been extremely dominant all throughout this game, and that Hoopa from gZero not able to bring out the Unite. Wow, just really good stuff and coordination from OTN. Just able to stop everything, bring out that Unbound, and kill off the center from gZero, and sweep the carpet right under them here early on. And just not let them have a chance. This Gengar and the Hoopa Unbounds coming out now to try and do something, but he's by himself, not sure what he's able to pull out. Actually getting a couple of KOs there. Suddenly things are starting to turn around. gZero with that Hoopa able to come out. Oh my goodness, everything's turning around with 1 minute and 20 seconds left on the clock. All of a sudden you see 3 gZero members burning on the Zapdos, and that's going to be a Blastoise to fall. That's the last one to fall for OTN, and now we see a 5-person stack. Wow, what a turnaround. That absolutely turned the game around. No shot that happened. That's going to be 100 going into the bottom, 100 into the top. It's 200 to 300. Here comes the Hoopa in to score, but the pushback from Slowbro is actually going to stop and get the KO. But here comes the Gengar. That's another 100. It is a tie game, 300 to 300. Alright, so we got our teams here, and look at this team comp here from Team Parasite. Decidueye, I saw a tree there for a brief moment. Garchomp, Absol, very unorthodox, well, not unorthodox characters, but a lot more variety than I think what we saw in the last game. And in the meantime, on the right side, yes, of course, that Hoopa, definitely a necessary character, but we got ourselves a tree, an Absol, a Venusaur, and a Pikachu. Oh, no, it looks like we're going to see a switch. So very interesting lineups from both of these teams, apart from the Hoopa. Pretty much all unique Pokemon from what we saw in that last set. So very interesting what's going to come out here in this set. Oh, a last-minute switch to Blissey. Wow, that was crazy fast. I wouldn't have been able to switch characters that fast. That's crazy. So I believe that Absol's going to be jungling for both sides of the field, unless that Decidueye decides to jungle for Team Parasite. In the meantime, the other side, we're going to call that team, that's the New Day, is almost certainly going to have that Absol jungling the Hoopa, the Blissey, and probably the Venusaur on bottom, and we're looking at the Trevenant to solo top, assuming they're running the 1-1-3, but I can very easily see this being a 2-1-2 coming out from the New Day, which will be very interesting to see in this competitive setting, for sure. Then again, that Garchomp very easily could jungle as well. I'm just now considering it. But yeah, no, it looks like the Absol for both sides is going to take it. And yeah, just like I thought, that tree is going to be going up top. And it looks like it's going to be a 2-1-2 coming out from Team Parasite. So very interesting. Not the traditional 3-1-3. They are going to have a disadvantage in experience on the bottom, but they are certainly going to outnumber the tree on top. And yeah, the New Day just pushing that advantage right away and able to kind of get in there. And that Mr. Mime... not a very popular character at all. Unfortunately, widely considered to be one of the worst characters. Going to be a very interesting pick to see what's going on there from him. And actually, looks like he's going to fall. No, he's actually able to take Very there. So very interesting stuff. And now we're seeing 3 people up top for that left side team. Really incredible stuff early on. Really incredible stuff early on, not at all an orthodox playstyle coming out from our teams here. Very interesting stuff. We are going to see them pushing the New Day on the Sedeno. Actually, just barely able to come out with it is that Bulbasaur, and he's not going to get punished for it. In the meantime, bees are coming, and we actually do see a 2v2 due to the Absol getting that callback. A little bit of a transition. Unfortunately, that advantage that they had up top on that left side team is going to be completely gone, but that Rowlet is actually going to take down the Absol, the big jungler, and damage deal, which is very good. Wow, and they're able to score up top. Never mind, they do have that advantage up top. Very good stuff from them, actually able to kind of come out with it. It looks like bottom is less of a priority for them, which is certainly interesting from gameplay. And to be quite honest, all things considered, 4 points bled. They are doing very good keeping up here in this match. Very good stuff coming out from both of the teams, and a 2-1-2 versus the 1-1-3. Very interesting, for sure. And it is working out for Parasite so far, but we will have to see what kind of shakes out as they rotate for the objectives. And Tree sees that those players go down, not going to capitalize on it because here they all come. Is he actually able to take on all of them? No, Tree is very good at not taking hits, but can't do it there, and actually very good awareness on that Absol to not score there, and leave as much of a max overstack as possible. In the meantime, here on the bottom, the New Day getting a very good push. That is a 4-player push, getting points into that goal zone. Very good stuff from them, pushing that Garchomp all the way back and getting a kill off of it. As we tread down here into the bees, it is literally a 4-on-1 coming into bees, and that Absol is going to have to escape the bottom, but it's got all of that left side team, that's team, that right side team, excuse me, that's the New Day getting distracted, and Team Parasite is actually able to come out with most of the bees there. That Mime is actually going to be able to stack, which is what it looked like he was going for before, so very good stuff to him. As we see these Dreadnought objectives coming down, we see all of the scores in the traded goal zones going to be coming out on top for the New Day, but it looks like that, oh my god, that Daytrix is going to be getting so much damage there, and actually able to kill everyone from the New Day, but the right side team just able to come out with the Dreadnought before I was able to get down there. I didn't even see the damage, so really good stuff from them. Burning. Is this Venusaur going to fall? No, not quite, and we are going to see the Hyperspace Hole coming out, but the Absol with the KO streak of 4 is going to really make the New Day hurt, but they are going to end up winning this Rotom. A nice push by Tree, and already 2 objectives by the New Day fought early, and Team Parasite has a little bit of catching up to do. There's a top goal zone broken for them, and that Hyperspace Hole back. Who's going to call back? It's going to be Venusaur to kind of help defend this bottom push, with a very respectable point differential here on bottom from them as well, and perhaps it is slightly advantageous even, I would argue, that they haven't broken this goal zone yet, because it means less Adenos and less experience for that right side team in the future. Here come the Unites, that Mime probably not going to be able to get out of there. No, just able to get out of there in tandem with the Absol Unite. The Mime isn't getting away, but that damage dealer of an Absol is, and now he's getting pinched by the entire team. Here he goes, trying to get the score in to get some health, but not going to happen. In the meantime, that team fight up top, here comes the Unite from Tree, Garchomp, and Hoopa up on him, but that Tree Unite is so powerful, but not when you don't use Curse in the right place, but he's actually able to escape and get away. In the meantime, the Absol is able to finish off the Hoopa, and Tree, living forever as he's notoriously known for, but not quite going to get away from the Garchomp. The Absol going to get the better of it. Here comes the Daytrix coming in. excuse me, Decidueye coming in with the arrows and actually pushing a little bit too far. Is going to get caught up there. KO streak of 3 for the Absol on the side of the New Day, and going to be able to put out good defense there. So definitely a point and goal advantage in terms of the New Day, but I would actually argue the experience would probably be a little bit in the favor of that left side team. They're kind of evening things up because they do have those Adenos to play around with, which certainly they do not. Here come the Hoopa and Bounce for that Dreadnought objective. Everyone's down for the team fight. That is 4 players from the New Day, and that left side team, that's Team Parasite is actually able to come out with the Dreadnought there. Very good stuff to them, and what a huge KO streak and a huge push coming out from them. A near max overstack, that's 46 going into that bottom goal. Very good stuff, and all of a sudden they're able to turn things around. They got to get ready for this Rotom fight, though. Everybody's just got to walk their way up. In the meantime, that is going to be a 45 stack into the bottom, but here comes Hoopa, Blissey, and Tree all going on Rotom for the side of the New Day, trying to secure their 3rd objective of the game, and it looks like they're going to get it pretty much uncontested, but an overstack of 39 is going to be the trade-off for it for Mr. Mime. So you could argue which side is doing better, because that is 99-point advantage, or I don't know how to do math. Whatever, 100... No, I know how to do math. 99-point advantage for that left side team. That's Team Parasite coming into this Zapdos fight that's going to inevitably coming. Perhaps we'll see a 3rd fight on Dreadnought, and it looks like the defense coming out from Mr. Mime and Hoopa on this Rotom, just kind of drawing it out, not really getting a big push. In the meantime, it looks like this Garchomp trying to steal the jungle of that left side team on the Absol, but the Blissey comes in, tries and stops all hopes of that, and he's going to get caught for overextending. In the meantime, can his teammates get there in time? Yes, here comes the Mr. Mime pushing the Blissey back, and actually very aggressive for a middle to late game segment in between the Zapdos fight. You normally see a lot of farming, but this is very good pressure being put on by the Garchomp against the Tree, and actually able to kill him early. In the meantime, that Mime going in for the stack, the Absol giving all of the damage right now, and a very good use of those moves. I really don't even know what moves Mime has. That is how uncommon he is in competitive play, coming out with and actually able to survive whatever Absol has up his sleeve, and that Venusaur trying to punish him, but very good team coordination there. Here come the Bees from Team Parasite, going to get that secure, but in the meantime, 5th objective coming down, 45 seconds to burn it. Looks like all of the New Day is ready for this objective here on bottom. In the meantime, you have Absol and Decidueye lagging behind, trying to see maybe if they can get a steal here and win their first Dreadnought, or their second Dreadnought of the game. And it looks like, yeah, what a snipe from that Decidueye is actually going to be able to secure it. And now we see 2-3 in terms of objectives and 2 Dreadnoughts for that left side team. Really good stuff to them, actually able to kind of equalize here in terms of experience advantage, and not going to have a Rotom necessarily to deal with. So very good stuff to them. And we do see them coming in with this team fight. The Absol coming in, trying to steal jungle, going into this team fight. Here comes the Tree, though, getting stuff started. In the meantime, everyone from Team Parasite is in the middle, coming up to help out. The team fight looks like it's going to be on top. The Absol is going to be the first one to pull the trigger on the United. In the meantime, that Tree is going to be the first one to fall after pulling a net of his own. Here comes the Hoopa and Bounce. Everybody's coming in, but the New Day from the right side, who had the advantage from the beginning, are absolutely going to fall to Team Parasite here. The amazing Unites coming out in the hands of Rhino and a Nebula are going to be able to secure the Zapdos here for the left side team, who ended up getting the advantage later on. Very good stuff to them. That Absol is going to be going up top, trying to get the score. Tree playing defense. In the meantime, that's 100 point coming up from that Decidueye. The Mime coming into the middle. Can they get that score on the top? Yes, the Absol using that maneuverability that he has to be able to get in there in time. In the meantime, the Hoopa going to be trying the last one to score, but it is 690 to 191. Going to be really hard for the New Day to come back with it. They have to make sure they secure as many people as they can. That is not looking good. They actually end up falling more themselves, trying to get the defense on as much as possible. We see 790 to 191, and it is looking rough for the New Day right now. Had an amazing early game start, but yeah, just the absolute insane pushes on those last couple of objectives, and were able to re-coordinate themselves. Was Team Parasite actually able to pull off this upset here in game number 1? Not really too much is going to be said further on. 45 seconds to go. You do see the Venusaur pushing and the Hoopa, but you need more than 500 points and a full push in order to kind of come back from this. So really not too much, but they are going to give it their all to the very last second. Tree going to score another 26 of his own there in that left side station. In the meantime, Snipes coming out from the Decidueye and Mr. Mime putting on that pressure. And once again, these teams don't give up that easy. They practice and they play these. They want to keep their hands warm for the next game. They want to keep that mental up. They know that they don't have this game, but if they can kind of get an understanding of what kinds of things that Team Parasite likes to do, they will be able to come out with the W in the next one. So very good stuff to Team Parasite here, going to be able to take the dub in the New Day. Actually getting a pretty good push there at the end, but obviously time on the clock is running out, and that's going to be a very good stuff to Team Parasite, able to get that first upset from them. So very good stuff indeed. And there we have it, 790 to 253, your official score here first in Game 1, going to Team Parasite. There we go, we're getting everything kind of cooked off and started here. So once again, that Decidueye ban is going to end up hurting that left side team a little bit. But we do see the Espeon coming out, and Lucario from Team Parasite, and Wigglytuff. So really a huge change, which is very surprising from the winning team. In the meantime, that right side team not changing too much. Just gonna change out that Pikachu. So very, very interesting stuff to them. We will get started here in this next game in just one moment as everybody gets loaded in and queued up. So yeah, an almost complete switch of the lineup, or a 3-character switch of the lineup for Team Parasite, despite them having the victory. Really good stuff. And just real quick before the game starts, yo, what's up, Nebula? How you doing, man? Black CH? I see you all in chat. Alright, we'll get it started. Here's the professional commentary time, so no more talking to chat. I'm just kidding, I love y'all. Appreciate every one of you here. Let's get it going. Yup, so it's going to be very interesting to see what the play is going to be here. It looks like that Sylveon's going to go bottom and the Ghastly going to be jungling. Lucario top is normal, but another 2-1-2 actually going to be coming out in the hands of Team The New Day. So what a switch off. We saw the 2-1-2 from Team Parasite, I believe, last time. And what good stuff. That Tree is gonna start getting his early stacks in the meantime. Not sure who was able to pull out that Adeno, but I do see a lot of aggression coming from Parasite right now. Applying pressure to that Bulbasaur, and the eject button barely gonna get him out of there. But they are going to try and steal these Adenos. And actually, I do believe that went to the side of the Hoopa, so very good stuff in terms of getting experience there and stealing. From Team Parasite early on, just extending this lead as much as possible here in this game. Now they're starting to get those monkeys a little bit later for the buffs. In the meantime, this amazing positioning skill from the New Day. Have to respect the grind. Bulbasaur actually going to pull back a little bit and get the Corphish. In the meantime, it's going to be a 2-on-3 fight for the bees, and it looks like that Absol's going to come in there and get it, but not before. Is he going to fall? Yes, the snipe from the Hoopa is going to finish it off. A little bit of an overextension there just to get bees, and that kind of equalizes the situation after the buffs, of course, that experience, the way that they changed it, and going to be able to secure that Adeno, the triple callback from the left side team after that secure. So very good stuff to them, and they are going to actually steal that Adeno. In the meantime, up top, haven't really been talking about the action up there, but it looks like that right side team is going to end up taking the advantage there. That is the New Day. Going to be able to come out with a little bit of points there, 53, and put some pressure on for Rotom later, but Lucario, being the amazing menace that he is going to be able to defend that position. So it looks like they are going to be going for a trade, and really nice stuff, not overstacking that goal, making sure that they don't give the Adenos too early before that team fight, but a lot of trades and a lot of experience going both ways early on, and already a hyperspace hole coming out from Hoopa, trying to get everybody rotated. It looks like it's not going to happen and come out with it, but very good stuff to just have that experience ready as we get into the second wave of bees coming up here in another 15 seconds. So some core fishes and a hyperspace hole callback is going to happen just kind of get that health up in the meantime. There we go. We see a 3-on-3 here on the bottom, actually a little bit unconventional. We normally see the rotation from the jungler at this point, but it looks like that Haunter needs to help out up top, and that's just going to be a secure for Parasite on the bees. That hyperspace hole coming out for the New Day is going to bring everybody down, but that Hoopa is going to fall. That's huge for the team fight. The rollouting Jigglypuff trying to go up against this tree right now, but the curse coming out is going to save him, and it's a low health for pretty much everybody, and that tree actually going to fall, so we are going to see a 3-on-5, it looks like. No, the Hoopa coming in time. There goes the Absol. Is he going to fall? The big damage dealer can't quite get in the hole for the callback, but that's going to be Parasite just pushing further up, and actually going to secure 3 team members of the New Day and securing this first objective, unlike last game where they ended up faltering. In the meantime, this tree is just going to go ham on the Rotom all on his own and secure the objective for the New Day, secure something early on, and it looks like we're going to see a trade of goals. That's the first tier goal zone taken in favor of Team Parasite. This Absol's going to be alone trying to defend this bottom goal zone. Here comes the Hoopa with the hyperspace hole, but they're both going to fall and not going to be able to get the callback. In the meantime, that bottom tier goal zone is at 7 already. Wow, that would be incredible if they're able to break that one early. And in the meantime, yes, just the trade for the New Day up top to kind of apply some pressure, but this is huge for Team Parasite. You never see goal zones go that low with so much time left on the clock, more than half the match, if I'm being completely honest with you, and that's really good. But a little bit of score trade's going to be coming out from the New Day, a little bit more of that passive gameplay here. The Hoopa Lucario going to try and get out of there and try and render that, and the 1 point left on the top, beautiful stuff, not letting the top zone get those Adenos. The callback hyperspace hole from Hoopa is going to leave that Lucario by himself defending for a little bit, and he is maybe gonna get out of there. That Pikachu's really chasing him down hard. Here come the Unites coming out. The hyperspace hole. Here comes the Unite from the Pikachu, actually gonna take down 2 of those Parasite members. Here's the third. That Wigglytuff might fall to this Pikachu. That range is going to be a difference maker, but the Dazzling Gleam and the rollout's actually going to take it down for the Wigglytuff, and he's gonna be able to score. In the meantime, here on the bottom side, a little bit of pushback coming from the New Day, trying to mitigate that advantage that Parasite had, and they're doing a good job of it. All of a sudden, this game is much closer, much more evened up than it has been in the past. It's just a Venusaur and a Hoopa down here. Calling back, it's the 3-on-2 as we see Unites pulled out. That Hoopa is going to unite the Unbound from the left side team. That's Team Parasite going to get started early on the team fight and going to get started with the kills. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3 down, and it's just a Pikachu and a tree to try and get stuff done. Not going to happen, and there is one lowly Hoopa that is trying to come up the bottom side but getting pushed back by the Lucario, and that's going to be yet another objective for Team Parasite. That is 2 Dreadnoughts secured, and Rotom hasn't even spawned yet, so everybody's going to be able to call back and get ready for this next fight. Here comes the hyperspace hole from the Hoopa on the left-hand side, and we see a Tree and Wigglytuff both going at this Rotom to start. That is the New Day going to get started early on this push. Here's the hyperspace hole from the New Day coming out, getting everybody in on the action, and it looks like, ooh, that Wigglytuff's going to be the first to fall, but Gengar doing a lot of damage, putting so much pressure on the New Day right now, but not before he falls, and the secure on Rotom from the New Day. So just trading objectives and goal zones right now, and only an Espeon to defend. We're going to follow that storyline as the Hoopa and the Venusaur are going to back off a little bit. This Pikachu's kind of going to push a little bit more and then fall back. So it looks like just the defense there. In the meantime, here in the middle, we see Hoopa on Hoopa action. And the hyperspace hole trying to get some of that defense going. That Absol, though, stealing jungle from the New Day, trying to put on pressure and get that experience advantage, but the Gengar going to take advantage of it. Not going to let him steal their jungle. Very good stuff. Only going to come out maybe with one of those wild animals. A wild Pokemon. 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Everybody's just farming for Unites right now, not trying to play too aggressively, and not try and make any huge mistakes. Any Unites pulled out here will be extremely difficult to recover and recuperate from before that dreaded Zapdos fight. And with how close this game is, within 110 points of each other, is really going to be crucial. The Zapdos fight is as to determining the victor and who shall be moving on. Will Team Parasite be able to secure the upset, or will battle the New Day, bring it to a game 3, as they were projected to do. Here is this Pikachu hiding in the bushes and actually starting to get some pressure on that Hoopa. That's big, and already the hyperspace hole callback. Nobody's gonna fall for it, but that's a Hoopa going down. Pikachu, Venusaur are low. There they go, and it looks like the Gengar is gonna come out with it, so that's a Hoopa for the Hoopa for Team Parasite falling, but everyone else falling for the New Day. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 team members down, and they are all up and ready for that dread. Now the Hoop is going to come back. Surely that Unbound is going to come in soon, making sure they can secure the Zapdos. They are burning it. That rollout coming from Wigglytuff gonna do a huge amounts of damage. There go the Unites, and oh my goodness, what a steal from the New Day! Barely able to get in there on time, and now things are turning around for their team. Wow, the Absol actually going back. Here come the scores. That is 40 for Venusaur. Not going to give them the advantage quite yet. They are breaking that middle goal zone, though, and kind of pushing. In the meantime, a little bit of defense being played by Tree, making sure those goals aren't secured. It's 421 to 416 to 421. A 5-point difference yet again. A close game from our players. Oh my goodness, they love keeping it close. Between our competitors, literally one score will definitely make the difference here. Who's going to come out with the secures? It looks like that blue team, that left side team, Team Parasite, is going to be playing the defense a little bit. They are the ones 5 points behind, but they only have to secure a little bit more in order to be able to take this victory. The Venusaur and the Pikachu are going to go ham on bottom. In the meantime, Gengar is going alone. It looks like to middle. We'll see what he's able to come out with there. Wigglytuff, Sylveon, keeping the defense and pressure on from that left side team. I'm not sure who, if they're aware of who is winning right now, and the Hoopa is going to call back, get some health, put in that hyperspace hole, and it's just going to be the Venusaur pushing, but I don't think they know who's winning this match, because it's the New Day putting on all the pressure, but it's Team Parasite that's actually losing the game right now due to that Zapdos victory. But here comes the Lucario lowly on the Venusaur. There comes the Tree pushing and pushing further and further up. Here comes the Gengar. Here comes the Espeon, going to be able to put some pressure and do some damage. There's 13, 12, 11 seconds left. Can the Tree survive? No, he can't. They're going to try and score, but here comes the Pikachu saving it. 5 seconds left on the clock. Can they get the score in? They end up taking him down, but the defense from the Absol is going to be enough. A 5-point victory for the New Day, and that's going to be game 3. Oh my goodness, what a game, and what a comeback from the New Day at the end, able to come out with it. That is a New Day victory, and we are going to game 3. So that is one game each going to our competitors, and we're going to see some character switches for sure coming out from both sides. I imagine Parasite might bring out a different lineup entirely. And are we going to see double Gardevoir? I just have to say, I was a pre-patch Gardevoir main before the last one. That would be insane. You don't see this character much at all in competitive play either. Yo, what's up, Twinkle? How you doing? Absolutely appreciate it. Chubby Berry is scared. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that. Let's get it ready. We have 10 seconds into this next match. And it looks like, yeah, we're going to see the Zard, Venusaur, and Gardevoir switches. And this is actually very crazy. We're not going to see Hoopa probably for the first time in series history due to the ban. Or at least in a long time, because Hoopa is one of those characters that you really, both teams need to have them, or you really need to be on top of those objectives. So Hoopa is always a nice character to have. When you ban a character like that, you force teams to be more creative with their lineups and strategies, and also it means that everybody has to physically walk and rotate to those objectives. And be there. So this match is going to be so much about that coordination, that team coordination, and that time control is going to be much more important, because without Hyperspace Hole on the table, it's going to be much more difficult for rotations to happen. We actually see double jungling Gardevoir. That is what is happening right now. Really, really crazy uncommon character. And a 2-1-2 coming out once again from Parasite, so now flip-flopping the strategies, and now we see the Aegislash going alone up top. Did not even mention that the Aegislash is a switch from team team Parasite. So that's the New Day actually on the left-hand side this time, just for commentary purposes. And on the right-hand side, we are going to see Team Parasite. So early experience advantage and scoring advantage is actually going to be going to that right side team. And oh my goodness, the Aegislash is going to overextend, going to be the first one to fall. And now we see the Gengar having to come, or the Gardevoir having to come up and defend this top goal zone early before reaching that critical level 5. That's normally so important for Kirlia to get to, because Gardevoir does not level early at all. Not super early in particular, like some of the junglers in this game might. Or some of the other characters. She really is the kind of character that relies on farm, and it looks like she's going to be running that, I believe that is Moonblast coming out from her in order to deal the damage. And here comes this pressure from that right side team. That's Team Parasite finding much more success here on this bottom lane, the 3-on-2, and yeah, gonna be able to get a Deno secures and gonna be able to push that aggression a lot more. Is that Eldegoss too aggressive? No, though, no, he is not. They are pushing up on the Sedeno and going to get the experience. Is that War Turtle and going to be able to get out of there mostly scot-free. In the meantime, we see Sword up top here getting pushed back by the Charmeleon and that tree coming in to try and get some damage. Here comes the Kirlia, able to get her hand into the game as well and deal that pressure and damage up top, as we are 30 seconds away from the second wave of bees and a minute away from that next objective. So the New Day actually trying to push a little bit further up here on the bottom as that War Turtle kind of makes their way into the jungle, getting those core fishes and kind of evening things out here. But we are seeing the 3-on-2 coming in. The jungler is not rotating for the side of Parasite as that Adeno spawns, but here comes the Kirlia coming in for that left side team, and we see the 3-on-3 action coming up here as they fight for that Beast experience. There comes the Surf and everything from the New Day trying to get as much of that experience as possible. We're seeing level 6 and even level 7 on both of those sides, so good stuff to them. And now we see the rotations for objectives coming around. We're seeing the 4-on-3 here on bottom, Dreadnought, a little bit more of a conventional fight. And the callback from the Kirlia on the right-hand side is not going to be enough. In the meantime, this left side team, that is Team the New Day, actually going to be able to get the better hand on the Dreadnought starting out. But that right side team, Team Parasite, is able to come in a little bit later on that Dreadnought and kind of take it away from that left side team. In the meantime, Blissey is the only one pushing to score, so they're not going to be able to get that advantage. And in the meantime, everyone's going to have to physically walk and rotate to that top level objective, so it's who can get there the fastest. And it looks like it's going to be Gardevoir helping out that Aegislash a little bit earlier. That tree's not going to be able to survive to the just the amazing amount of damage that comes out from the Aegislash. And oh my goodness, what a unite coming out from the right side team's Gardevoir, and they get the secure on the Rotom. So that is 2 objectives for Team Parasite, and the Rotom falls into the wrong hands, or into the hands of that right side team, and that's going to be a top tier, the first tier goal zone broken on that top lane from Team Parasite. So good stuff to them. They are pushing this tree back. That is a 3-on-1.5. As that Venusaur tries and pops in there, but the tree's not going to be able to survive, and now they're just stealing jungle as much as possible. And even on the bottom side here, the Slowbro can't defend on its own, and now it's just a complete and utter advantage for Team Parasite. Really good stuff to them, able to get all of those secures and really truly show that advantage that they were able to show starting in the latter half of that game number 1, being able to carry this momentum all the way through even after taking the loss. Aegislash is going to follow there, going to push and get a little bit overextended. That Eldegoss is going to keep 3 members of the New Day occupied with that Unite, and they are able to get that Adeno experience in the meantime. we should be looking at this Dreadnought fight coming up in 20 seconds. What unites are able to pop out. We'll see which ones are going to be used for that Rotom fight and which ones are going to be used for Dreadnought. Here comes the Blissey from the top. Here comes the Charizard. Definitely primed up with a good unite of his own. His is fast enough. He might actually be able to throw them out for both objectives. And we see the 5-on-5. This Gardevoir's coming in from the right side a little bit late, but everyone else is here. It's going to be the New Day getting started on that Dreadnought a little bit, but as far as the KOs go, it's going to be Team Parasite starting it up top, not even concerned with Dreadnought, just taking out the opponents, and very good awareness from them. Unfortunately, the New Day got a little bit distracted when it came to that experience and went for Dreadnought early when they had no shot at it, and Parasite just coming in with the punishes, taking out those damage dealers up top and able to kill the squishies on the bottom. But we do see this rotation here for the Rotom. Are they able to put pressure on that top side and get a little something started, a little bit of momentum into the Zapdos fight, because this would be a huge upset if Team Parasite is able to come out with it. The New Day doing incredibly well in our last event, and it looks like they're going to have the better hand of this Rotom starting at the tree, able to push it off to the side, but here comes everyone from Team Parasite trying to get the steal. Unfortunately, not going to come out with it, and that's going to be the first objective for that left side team. That is the New Day. But they aren't able to push on this Rotom because every single team member right now from that right side team is pushing, forcing out the unites from these players. As we dip into that 3-minute 30 mark, that Charizard is able to do a very good job of able to quell that Rotom and push it a little bit more, and push back the defenses coming out from Team Parasite. But very good stuff overall from both teams here, as we are gearing up. 3 minutes left and potentially a third Dreadnought fight could be coming down, as everybody's just kind of farming up for unites. Here comes the Aegislash getting something started, actually going to be able to kill and take over the Gardevoir, and Gardevoir actually being forced to unite to survive there. She's not going to have that for Zapdos, and actually still going to die anyways. Really unfortunate waste of a unite. And now we see Team Parasite just with this huge advantage, 202 points before the Zapdos fight, and just not really being as coordinated, unfortunately, as Team Parasite has been getting these objectives and things like that. Just this huge adaptation and level of synergy from these players has really come out in spades for that right side team. But it looks like that Aegislash is going to have pushed a little bit too far. No? Maybe. They are distracted. That Aegislash distracted 3 members of the team. And that left side team, who is going to be able to get Dreadnought here, trying to get the distraction going. Here comes the Gardevoir Unite from the right-hand side. And I'm not sure if they were able to get Dreadnought, but they were able to secure 3 KOs. Now it's Team Parasite going to get the jump on Zapdos. In the meantime, it's only 2 for that left side team. That's the New Day. That Venusaur has to come in at top, try and snipe it out with the Solar Beam, try and see what they can do. In the meantime, the Gardevoir is going to come in, try and get a little bit of that damage going. And yeah, that right side team, that's Team Parasite, is going to be able to secure the Zapdos. It is not looking good for our #1 seed right now. Are they going to be able to defend this? It's the Charizard and the Slowbro coming out here in the middle trying to defend, but that's 100 up top for the Eldegoss. That is 100 on bottom for Gardevoir. That is 100 in the middle for Blastoise. He's just dancing it off right now. He knows he has the victory, and what an upset. This is just absolute monstrosity and chaos right now. A near 700 point advantage for that right side team, and we're going to see a huge upset coming out from Team Parasite. Oh my goodness. That's insane. That is insane. A minute left to go, and there's just really nothing that left side team can do, unfortunately. And that W is going to come out. They just can't get the scores back. They just weren't able to coordinate their team and their pieces well enough. They were getting a few of those kills on occasion when perhaps Parasite would overextend themselves, but the New Day unfortunately just wasn't able to get the jump on those Dreadnoughts that they really needed to get that early experience advantage and those early goal advantages to get stuff done. And actually, they may go this game without breaking a goal zone, which would be an unfortunate embarrassment for Team the New Day. But regardless, they were able to take a game, and still really amazing stuff from that team. Congratulations to Team Parasite for taking this game. They will be moving on to winners semifinals. So good stuff to them.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, every single set in the tournament here is best of 3.
You lose.
And what a victory coming out. Alright, we'll see what they're coming out with. It looks like Parasite bringing out the Azu. Very interesting. A good character, I do believe. Very solid, for sure. But just, you know, a new pick and new mons being represented here in competitive play is always something that's welcome. We see that left side team, yep, bringing out the Eldegrass again, seeing that Decidueye, Blissey, and Tree. In the meantime, right side bringing out that Tree, Aegislash. We see that Slowbro from Chubbyberry, Blissey, and Absol. So all things considered, very interesting and diverse lineups, Tree really being the only common factor between these teams. So I love that there are so many mons that are being represented in competitive play now. It's really cool and interesting to see what kind of fights are able to partake and what kind of team coordination that you have to have when Hoopa is just off the table. And here we go. And I do believe we're probably going to see Absol jungle from that left side team. On the right side, probably going to be Decidueye. But it could be entirely wrong. Aegislash is a very competent jungler as well. And you got... you just have so many options, and I'm wrong entirely. There's an Azu in jungle, and yeah, Absol coming out from that right-hand side. But yeah, Azu's in jungle, and we're seeing a 2-1-2 coming out from both teams, actually. Quite the surprise there, and it looks like that left side team, that's Team Parasite, is going to try and get the better, and actually does get the better of that first Adeno. Not too much of an overextension coming out from either team right now. But here comes Team Parasite putting on the aggression. There it goes. And looks like that right side team able to come out with it. That aggression not going to be rewarded for Team Parasite. And that is the Blossming Flowers doing an amazing job kind of keeping up there. And it looks like both junglers are going to be rotating top, which is going to make this Bees fight very interesting up here. There go 2 for the core fish, and here comes this Azu immediately trying to kind of jump in on his own, and you don't want to fight him when he's on his own. That could be a mistake, but the Absol coming in, and that Azu, ooh, actually overextending, but so is the Absol. Both junglers at very low health, and that Rowlet's going to do damage to the tree. That's Dace having to run away, and these Bees are actually going to go mostly in favor of that left side team. Fairy is going to be able to get that evolution, but a trade of junglers is going to occur right there up top, and now Dace, Fairy trying to make some kind of a push happen here on this right hand side, but Dace is going to fall, and now it's just a Blissey having to back off from Team Parasite. Really good defense being played right now. Ooh, unfortunately just barely missing that pound, and that's going to be first scores for that left side team. That's Team Parasite taking an early advantage here in this match. But of course it's not over. Certainly not over yet. 8 minutes left on the clock. You still have 40 minutes until that second wave of bees, and another round of objectives that you have to look out for coming here in the match. Little bit of an overextension from the Slowbro. Chubby barely able to get away there. And there goes, I don't know, YOLO rocking that Aegislash in lane. You gotta love it, gotta love it. Chubby trying to steal a little bit of that experience, make up for a little bit of that loss of bees and loss of push, and it looks like already up top that first tier goal zone is going to be broken from Team Parasite. Very good push from that Absol and Blissey. Or, excuse me, from that Azu and Tree. You have Blissey, Blissey and Absol trying to make the defense happen, but just this absolutely insane score differential, and we'll see the rotations for Dreadnought as the fight comes down. Here comes the tree from the top. We're seeing 4 from the left-hand side. Not really sure how that wave of bees panned out, but I do know that it is essentially a 4v2, now 4v3, as the Absol comes in from the back, but the first hits of Dreadnought are going to come from Parasite, and you just have a Slowbro and Absol to contest it. In the meantime, there goes the Surf, but there comes the Unite from Absol, not going to be enough, and I do believe, yes, that left side team taking down all of Team the Blossoming Flowers right there, and going to be able to get that insane amount of Dreadnought experience, and really able to make a push. In the meantime, on top here, we have Dace and Fairy both going ham at this Rotom right now, just a Decidueye to kind of punish. And here comes the tree and the Absol from both sides, and what a snipe from Nebula is actually going to take it down, and they're able to get the secure and reverse the situation. Now this is very, very bad news for the Blossoming Flowers, as they are going to push hard on this Rotom. They have no reason not to. This middle tier goal zone super duper fragile right now, and that Absol is going to be the first to fall thanks to the Decidueye Unite. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and the Rotom pops in. There goes the score. 17 left, 19, only an overstack of 2, but really when you're getting scores this early in the game, having that second tier goal zone broken before the halfway point of the match is really, really incredible and something. In the meantime, it looks like they're trying to make up for it here on the bottom. A nice overstack of 34 coming out from Parasite, and they're just winning on both frontiers in the match as we're getting ready for these second objectives. In the meantime, you just kind of have to shake it off if you're the Blossoming Flowers, get as much experience as you can, and get ready for these objective fights, which are so important and so crucial for being able to maintain that level of calm and advantage coming into the match. But it looks like a 4-on-1 on the Absol, gonna get cursed and right away from Nebula. Oh my goodness, that was a good shot, and unfortunately miscue on the rotation from the Blossoming Flowers. They're all there, but all there too late, and a very good push from Parasite right now. They're gonna have 3 people up on that Dreadnought. We're seeing a tree fight in the middle. That's bound to go even, and everybody's pushing back from the Blossoming Flowers. Rotating top, I suppose they want to get the jump on Rotom, but they just let this Dreadnought go free. Not even worried about it. Now it takes the entire team to try and stop this tree, and not even going to come out with the success, because here comes, oh my goodness, that Eldegoss coming in clutch and actually able to, just the beautiful team coordination, is able to make this tree survive and actually able to punish the 4-on-1 on tree. Not going in favor of the Blossoming Flowers. Quite unfortunate indeed, and they're gonna Team Parasite is gonna start the jump on this Rotom. They don't know that the Slowbro is there, so he's probably gonna surf to try and steal, which is definitely the best bet. And here it comes, 1, 2, 3, and no, oh yes, he does get the steal. Very good stuff from the Blossoming Flowers, from Chubby Berry specifically, actually able to get the steal, put a little bit of pressure on. I don't think they're going to be able to push on this, though. No, Dace is going to fall. Chubby's going to have to fall back. But still, nice pressure either way. A really, really good steal from your boy Chubby Berry. He's been hanging out here in chat all night. In the meantime, this Azu acting like a green right now, just stealing all that jungle, and all of those goal zones. Tier 1, Tier 2, they're all gone in the midst of the fights. Somewhere, somehow, they were able to get those scores in, and Team Parasite is all over the Blossoming Flowers right now. It's not even close, unfortunately. Just not able to come out with it. But once again, anything's on the table when there's Zapdos in play, and you have to be wary, see if you can pull out some Unites, reroute your team coordination, and just be ready for these objectives. And even if you're not looking at a win for this game, you certainly have to keep those heads held high for those games in the future, because as we saw in the last set, things can certainly get ugly and turn around quickly. And you could end up in a Game 3 situation in no time. So you really just got to be playing at 100% at all times here, and you can't let up even for a moment. Here comes the Blossoming Flowers actually pulling out the Unites early in the team fight, trying to get those early KOs. That's the Absol, that is Enigma coming out, trying to get some sort of pressure, but this Decidueye has just been the American sniper today. Good lord, that's going to be the Blissey falling, and the Slowbro is soon to go next. What a snipe from the Decidueye Enigma, having to back off completely, and the Azu is back trying to steal jungle, but here is Dace in the bushes, and Azu not falling for it, and everybody coming in from this team fight. Oh my god, Team Parasite has 3 up on Zapdos and the Eldegoss, and Azu are able to push back the Blossming Flowers a little bit and stop them from getting the Zapdos entirely, and yeah, they're not even going to be able to get center in time. Here come the Unites, but it is perhaps too little too late, and yeah, that left side team, Team Parasite, that is 5 of them going in to score, and there is no shot, no how, and no way for the Blossoming Flowers to come back from this at this point, unfortunately, and yeah, there comes the surrender. Just absolute and utter domination the entire game, and you have to see what kind of adjustments are going to be made from the Blossoming Flowers here in this game 3, or this game number 2. Congratulations to Team Parasite for taking game number 1 of the series. Alright, here we go, getting ready for this game number 2. So what kind of adjustments are we going to see from the right side team? It looks like the Cinderace coming out from, I don't know, YOLO. And what a lineup change. Almost an almost complete lineup change coming out from the Blossoming of Flowers with that Talonflame, Machamp, and Cinderace, and Mamoswine in hand. Only the Blissey staying the same in the meantime. Team Parasite going to bring out a different lineup as well. Hoopa, Trevenant, Pikachu, Garchomp, and a Cinderace of their own, with that Decidueye being the only thing off the table. Now that Hoopa Unbound Unite is going to come into play, you already know. I just have to say, Olin, one thing real quick. Damn straight. You know I did. You know I got it. Alright, anyways, let's get ready for the match. Appreciate it, homie. So it looks like perhaps we're gonna see the Cinderace definitely going for the jungling here on the left-hand side. In the meantime, Talonflame gonna take the right, and it's gonna be a laning Cinderace, and we're gonna see a more traditional 1-1-3 from this left-hand side. Team Garchomp going to be top laning for Team Parasite. In the meantime, it is going to be the 2v1 in this kind of formation, but of course that does mean this pressure on the bottom of Denos is going to be present, but thankfully for the right-hand team, they are able to maintain those Adenos and that precious experience with no casualties. Can they get the other one? No, they can't, and that tree from Team Parasite is actually going to end up stealing one of the Adenos, which is really good for the right-side team. In the meantime, that Talonflame not able to get the full jungle out, unfortunately, and is only going to be level 4 coming down, and is actually going to fall for it before Bees. That is huge for Team Parasite. And that's going to be 2. That is a Blissey down, and only a Cinderace to contest Bees here, coming up 10 seconds, and he's going to fall. So it's going to be uncontested Bees on bottom, unfortunately. Can that bird get there in time? Probably not. No, that tree is just going to score, put on some pressure, and push back. And yeah, that's going to be that left side team. In the meantime, up top, we have the right side team. That's the Blossoming Flowers actually getting a scoring advantage, a stacking advantage for the Machamp, which is really, really good for Machamp. And putting on some pressure. So we are going to see a bit of a goal trade, which is the kind of opportunities that come with these complex positions of 2-1-2 in a 3-1. But it looks like this Garchomp from Team Parasite trying to steal the jungle and is actually going to be successful in it, killing the bird in the process. Really good stuff to them, and that's going to be a lot of lost experience, and Dace with the Mamoswine actually going to have to come back and try and deal with this a little bit. Can't find the Garchomp though, and now it's a lot of pressure coming out from Team Parasite up top, and the Blossoming Flowers really need to find a way to coordinate their pieces together and make something happen, as this huge push lends itself to a 3 KO streak and nearly breaking the bottom goal zone, but not quite gonna do it yet. Of course, the amount of scores is not nearly so important this early in the game, It is much more crucial, though, that they are able to kind of get that secure and overstack as much as possible and get all of that experience. In the meantime, we see the 3-on-3 getting ready for those Bs, those 720 Bs, but the positional advantage is huge in Team Parasite's favor. And here comes Nebula getting those Bs, the Hoopa, and the tree, just stopping everything right now, going to get a 2 KO streak on this right side team. And that is going to be Team Parasite on the bottom, just being absolutely insane. But up top, we actually see a lot of counterplay coming from this Mamoswine, and this Machamp is actually going to be able to put the first tier goal zone to bed very, very early. But not going to be able to contest that Rotom, not going to be able to get down there, or that Dreadnought, excuse me, not going to be able to get down there in time, and a huge 4-on-2 push coming out, 4-on-1 push, excuse me, coming out, from Team Parasite. And it looks like they're having a bit of a miscommunication as far as the overstack goes. They're going to leave it at 10, and it is a Mamoswine versus Garchomp fighting for that top Rotom objective. Can the Blossoming Flowers secure an objective in this game, or is that Garchomp going to be a menace? It certainly is. Here come the Unites, and Dace is going to be the first one to fall. There goes the bird, and now it's just a Garchomp all alone on Rotom. Wow, just able to take everything, and there's that advantage right there that we saw from Team Parasite, and able to take back that huge, or that top goal zone lead, what little advantage that the Blossoming Flowers had. And now they're all eating up the jungle right now, forcing out the Unites and forcing out the contest from the Blossoming Flowers. It is a 4-on-2, but they are not able to make a big punish off of it. That bird's going to have to end up falling back, and actually going to end up falling himself, overextending a little bit, trying to get the defense on and ensure that they keep that middle tier goal zone intact. In the meantime, a bit of a flip-flop. We see Parasite getting those Bs, getting that level 10 experience this early on. Just really incredible stuff for him, and able to put some pressure on this bottom tier goal zone in bottom lane. Really, really early. Here comes the Pikachu and the Hoopa to kind of back them up. There comes the Cinderace Unite. There comes the Blissey Unite. But the bird is going to be the first one to fall. The Jungler. They are always going after the Jungler, the damage dealer. And there's the Hoopa Unbound with 8 seconds to go. Until Dreadnought and everybody is pushing up on this Blossoming Flowers goal zone. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4 down. Here comes the bird back in to try and get something done. That's 5. And yeah, they're going to break that first tier goal zone and rip this Dreadnought virtually for free. And the Garchomp coming in, trying to get a little bit of scores, the 3-on-1, getting some action done, and going to be able to get out of there almost scot-free, because here comes the rest of the team, and there's the Unites. Oh my god, what a thunder coming out from the Pikachu, and that is going to be a bottom tier goal zone, or middle tier goal zone, excuse me, broken. Just went from 0 to hero, and now all of a sudden with this Rotom fight, the Blossoming Flowers need to make some kind of push happen right now if they have any chance at all in coming back and bringing this to a game 3. Of course, anything is possible with Zapdos on the table, and we do actually see the rotation in favor of the Blossoming Flowers right now. Here's 1, here's 2, here's 3 up on it. Garchomp coming from the bottom, and a Cinderace from the left. Mamo keeping the tree distracted, and a Pikachu from the bottom who's able to come out with the better of it. It is the Blossoming Flowers winning that second objective, but all 3 of those players are going down. There goes Dace and the 4 KO streak. Good stuff from that team, and burning that Rotom before he has a chance to breathe. Like, what did Rotom ever do to you? My goodness, good stuff from Parasite. Really amazing defense, and dealing with that as quickly as possible lends itself to being able to just focus on getting experience. Well, if they had any farm left, they would. But just getting that experience and getting ready for this team fight here at the end, and Parasite just pushing that aggression here on bottom. That tree will not die to anything. There comes the curse out, and here comes the Hoopa trying to get some sort of big push. There's the Cinderace falling, and everyone's coming in on this play from Parasite. That's 1, that's 2 down on bottom. And just immaculate play from Team Parasite. It's going to take a miracle here in the Zapdos fight for the Blossoming Flowers to bring Parasite to justice, and see if they're running out of gas, because it doesn't look like it anytime soon, right? The gas prices are going down and they're driving electric. They got them Teslas and you got that Ford F-150 guzzling that diesel. Nebula and Cinderace gonna just be able to take that third Dreadnought down with absolute ease. In the meantime, you see Parasite just 100% pushing, perhaps overextending a little bit even in the goal zone. Oh my goodness, the Hoopa going down is big for Dreadnought. Not going to be back in time for the unbound on the fight. There goes a tree. All of a sudden, the Blossoming Flowers turning it around, forcing out the Unite from the Cinderace. Dace is going to fall in the process, and so is, I don't know, YOLO. We see the trades here. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and just a Machamp on the side of the Blossoming Flowers had a little bit of an advantage there, but all of the Unites coming out end up taking down the Blossoming Flowers on the right-hand side. Here comes Team Parasite all up on Zapdos. Machamp able to come in and get the steal. He's going to try for it. There goes the Unite, and oh no, not able to get the steal as Chubby Berry. Really good effort at it, but here comes the Hoop Unbound, and that is a lot of points that are waiting to be scored. Dace doing his best to try and defend, but they are behind by 310 points. In the meantime, losing Zapdos as well is going to be huge for them. I'm not sure if they have enough gas in the tank to kind of punish that. There's 52 points. There's another 100. There's 100. There is 74. And there is another 24 that make it 30 points. And another 2 just to drop the bomb in there. 774 to 106, and the Blossoming Flowers is going to have a hard time coming back from this one. And unfortunately, yeah, that's just going to be game. There's not really too much hope for this right side team, the Blossoming Flowers, to be able to come back from this. But of course, they're going to play it out as much as possible, try and keep their hands warm as they make their way down to losers quarterfinals. But good stuff to Parasite, bringing themselves all the way to winners finals, and guaranteeing themselves a top 3 slot in this tournament. Yeah, just all the defense in the world isn't going to save you from the inevitability that this game is just over. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 simultaneous deaths for a fraction of a second there from the Blossoming Flowers. And wow, an 800, almost 900 point lead, just pushing so much, never giving up, and always playing up until the finish. Good stuff to them. Wow, incredible, incredible. That is a 1,000 point advantage from the left-hand side team. And the Blossoming Flowers, good stuff to you. Gotta shake it off, though, as you're going to play your match in losers quarterfinals. But that is going to be the end of it right now. We'll get the official score in 1 second. Yep, that is 1,066 to 106. Unfortunately, just that early advantage from the Blossoming Flowers taking that goal zone, and then just weren't able to capitalize on it. Good stuff to Team Parasite. They're moving on to winners finals, and we'll be right back with the next match. Best of 3. So you don't really have a whole lot of room to play around with, but this is the first time on stream today. I believe we are seeing Team Wawa. We will see what they are able to come out with. And of course, we've been following the amazing run that Parasite has had since winners quarterfinals. And they've been just doing an incredible job, staying solid the entire time. It looks like we're going to see the double dragon setup. Just kidding, Charizard's not a dragon. But we are seeing Dragonite and Charizard coming out for that left side team. 2 experience-hungry characters, which is a very interesting setup. And my apologies, we actually did see Wawa before against Ninja Otter's team. That is correct. So now they are back with the Mr. Mime. Once again, unconventional pick entirely. But we're seeing a mostly pink team, honestly, coming out from Team Wawa. And on the other side of the field, Team Parasite bringing out the Dragonite, the Charizard, Machamp, Aegislash, and Serena. We saw 4 of these characters featured before. The Dragonite is definitely a new pick, and once again, I'm all for as many amazing mons as possible coming here into this game. Just the more action and gameplay that we get to see, the better it is, right? So let's get it going. That Dragonite, yeah, probably going to be... It's going to be very interesting to see, but I'm pretty sure the Dragonite's going to be jungling. Yep, there he goes. Excuse me, there's the Dratini, and they're actually... Every team today is running. Every team today is running 2-2-1-2. Here it is. You've seen it here first. And also Jigglypuff in the jungle. Very interesting pick for sure. Definitely something that is seen in competitive play, and it's brought out here today. And already some action on the top. The Charmander's going to fall. Getting a little bit overextended there and actually going to be able to steal some of that experience up top. In the meantime, back down here on bottom. That Machamp trying to get his stacks in and push as far as possible, not going to be able to do it, and that future Serena is going to have to back off as well, not going to be able to apply pressure. In these kind of situations, Jungler rotating up for both teams right here, but it looks like Team Parasite going to have a little bit of a positional advantage. Here comes the Wigglytuff, only having doubles, or bringing out the rollout right now, actually. Instead of the Sing, very interesting, and all sorts of players dying right now. That's one, that's two KOs on the side of Parasite. Good stuff to them. And going to be able to get the majority of Bs here on top. In the meantime, flip things over to the bottom side, and it's looking like that left side team, that's Team Parasite, having the experience lead on both fronts. With, you know, basically no scoring happening so far in the game. Just really incredible how these teams are able to compete, but I will say keeping much closer in the experience game than we saw in previous sets. And here we go from Team Wawa, that Blissey able to kind of get some scores in. Not sure if they're running a cookie or not. I really didn't look at the items. I should have. I'm a bad commentator, unfortunately. But here we go, everybody just building up, getting ready for that first objective, and actually the 4v2 coming out up top. That is one down, and they are hard pushing this top goal for first Rotom. Oh my goodness, that's one, that's two, that's three, that's four. Here comes the hyperspace hole to try and get everybody in there, but not before a lot of points are leaked and bled. Parasite trying to escape into the jungle, but they are actually going to fall and bleed some players. Now it's a push coming up on the other side, and who knew the action would be coming up top when you're looking at 720 Bs coming up right now. Here comes the alternate score. The Blissey's the first one to start. Here comes the Mime with 30. That's a 40 stack. Put it in. Another 21. That's 17, and suddenly this game is very even and very confusing as far as the experience goes, because now we might see rotations to bottom, or we might actually see a push for first Rotom. We'll see what happens. Is that hyperspace hole gonna come out from the Hoopa, get that rotation down, because everybody from Team Parasite is rotating down for this Dreadnought. It looks like they're jumping the gun on it, because Team Wawa is lacking behind. That's one, that's two, that's three on it, but there are four players here now from both teams. Here comes the Unites, but not fast enough. That's going to be the left side team. Team Parasite able to take out that Dreadnought first, and able to get the better of the exchanges here on the bottom. The Serena putting in so many stomps in the KO streak of 3. Here comes the Serena Dragonite combo on the Mime. That's a 4th KO for them. Blissey doing everything in her power to try and stop the attacks, but not going to be enough. She is going to survive this interaction more than likely, and actually mitigated a lot of the scoring potential just simply by existing. But in the meantime, the Agislash gonna start pushing the Rotom, doing some work up top, continuing to gain those objective advantages for Team Parasite, and with as many boosted attacks and as much damage as Agislash is going to do, Void's going to have to come in and try and steal, and oh my goodness, what a steal from Team Wawa, actually able to get that Rotom objective, and now we're seeing a lot of pressure being put up top. That Agislash at low health, the top goal zone being broken. That is the first one for them, trading goal zones actually, because the bottom one did get broken in the scuffle. Blissey overextending, trying to push away the Wigglytuff at low health. A nice bounce with a rollout, but that is a KO streak of 2 for Parasite as the Blissey and Mime push too far. And the KO streak of 3, there it comes in. Wigglytuff is down, as well as the Hoopa, and they're able to break the top goal zone there. So it looks like a lot less of a trade, and Parasite in full control here as we're waiting for that next Dreadnought to come. Everybody just farming, getting experience right now. Not too much of the action going on, but we do see a Dragonite trying to punish this Mime for overextending a little bit too far, and actually going to be able to come out with it. There's a stack of 4, and he's running away with it. 12 seconds until the next Dreadnought comes in, who's able to get the rotation. It looks like the Serena Dragonite got the jump on the positional advantage. Here comes the Charizard, and here come the Unites. That's Serena, that's the Draco right there. There he goes, and that Serena's going to be the first to fall. Here's the Hoopa Unbound, and actually it looks like Parasite's going to get the better of this, as this Dragonite is actually going to die to Dreadnought of all things, not technically the right side team. Now the right side team is all up on this Dreadnought, actually able to secure the 3rd objective fairly handily, and they're going to be able to push on this. Charizard stealing both the berries, trying to keep alive as much as possible. The Machamp is going to fall in the suit of armor, and not enough for the Charizard. Here comes the Serena with Unite, trying to mitigate the scoring potential. That's a Mime going down, and actually the Dragonite coming in, rotating just in time to be able to mitigate even more of the scoring potential for Team Parasite. That's another one down. That's Hoopa down. Here comes the Blissey, and oh my goodness, everybody is falling. That Eldegoss was just in the midst of things. I didn't even see them, and they fall. There goes the Blissey and the Wigglytuff trying to escape, and they're going to fall more than likely. Yeah, no, barely coming out with it. Really good stuff from the Wigglytuff, able to survive there. Mitigated scoring potential coming in from Parasite. Absolutely amazing stuff, as this Machamp is going ham right now in this top road. I mean, with the Charizard, they are going to be able to secure their 2nd objective of the game in the 2nd Rotom, arguably more important than the 1st Rotom. Coming in, they get to apply some pressure, do some damage, and here come Eldegoss and Blissey to try and put a stop to it. Here come the Unites from Machamp. There it is, putting it out. There's the Charizard Unite, picking up the Eldegoss. It is the 3v2, but when you have a uniting Charizard like this, oh my goodness, they're all coming out in 316 Unite. You got to be careful of those, because you're not going to have those Unites for the dreaded Zapdos fight, but that Team Parasite is really pushing in this Rotom right now, actually going to be able to come out with it, and that's going to be a score of 67 points coming out, maybe, if this Mime decides to push it in. No, they're not going to. They're just going to take down the the Dragonite first, and come out with it. And oh my goodness, I've been commentating for the wrong team the whole time. This is the professional commentating you get when you come here. But you know what? Really amazing push from Team Parasite nonetheless. And you have the Blissey coming out, getting the taps on the Serena. Slap 1-2. And we see the positional advantage a little bit in the favor of Blissey, but you do see the 3v2 coming out in terms of that Dreadnought. They're actually just going to back off of it. Parasite doing a bit of scouting in the bush and seeing that there's no one there is just going to take this Dreadnought for free. I'm not sure if the Mime's going to get there on time. We'll see. There he comes, trying to contest it. Parasite backs off. Here comes Charizard to get the help out. There builds the wall. Are they able to burn it? Yes, they are. There it is. Team Parasite. Oh, no, no, no. Dreadnought's walking. They can't secure it. That's actually big. They don't have the experience from that. Dreadnought started walking right at the very end. He said, no, 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 you're not killing me. I go out on my own terms. And now we see a huge positional advantage, actually, for Team Wawa. Going to be coming up the top side, ready for this Zapdos, but they kind of pushed back a little bit and allowed them a Machamp and the Aegislash to get in there. Here comes the Dragonite, but everybody from Team Wawa is just pushing back far into the enemy territory, and that's allowing the pincer to come through from Team Parasite to try and mitigate things a little bit. And now we see low health mostly coming from that orange team, and Team Parasite coming out on top with it. There it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is 5 deaths right there with a minimum time of 7 seconds left on the clock. I'm not sure if they're going to burn Dreadnought before contestability, but we'll see. These are high damage dealers right here. Oh yes, they are shutting my mouth up, and that is a surrender actually right there. Not even going to play around with it, and that is a handy victory. Game number 1 for Team Parasite. Don't even have to look at the scores, an unfortunate circumstance right there, but fought up right until the very end, and Parasite with another game victory. So it looks like on that left-hand side, we are going to see a switch to Ninetales and GrEninja, the first time that we're going to be seeing those characters tonight, assuming that this comp sticks. And on the other side of the field, we're going to see Wigglytuff, Blissey, Hoopa, Eldegoss, and Venusaur switch, instead of the Mr. Mime. So honestly, a lot of the same things coming out from Parasite, but a much different comp coming out from Wawa. Bringing out that Hoopa. You really need Hoopa against Hoopa to be ready on those rotations for the objectives, because Team Parasite was just kind of all over them, especially at the end of the last game. As far as that Zapdos fight went, although I will say they did go even in objectives for the most part, but I think rotations for the most part have always been going in favor of Parasite. They're just really amazing at pulling off these incredible rotation routes, and they've been doing so amazingly with that. Good stuff to them. In the meantime, the jungler here gonna be the Frogadier, and on the other side of the field, it's going to be that Venusaur doing work for Team Parasite. So, yep, so Team Wawa going to be sending that Lucario up, and we're going back to the roots 1-1-3. And yep, Blissey Nebula going to come out with the better of that Otternauts right now and actually trying to push a little bit aggressively on this left side team, trying and making sure that they're able to kind of contest this experience from the Otternauts, not letting them get that for free, and that's actually going to cost them a Blissey right there. From Team Parasite, a little bit too aggressive now. Now they get to kind of turn the initiative away a little bit, and get some of that experience of their own. They're not able to capitalize on that Otternauts, however, which is much more important for them, and much more important for them to get those secures as we move into Bees. Here is the 2-on-2 fight up top, ready for those 850 Bees. Getting the core fish is that Lucario, that frog trying to push in the stack, not going to be able to come out with it, but here comes Lucario just taking all the bees for himself. But he might be pushing a little bit too far, looking at less than half health. We see a lot of damage coming in, but yeah, that's just going to be it. This Venusaur might go down too, and you're going to see the 1v1 Wigglytuff versus the frog, and unfortunately bouncing off the wall, missing the rollout, is going to be that Wigglytuff. Not much of a push coming off of there. In the meantime, down here on the bottom side, it looks like the Team Wawa is actually going to take the undoubted advantage there as well. A nice callback from the Hoopa. They're going to get their stuff stolen, and then the callback from the other Hoopa. Just really dynamic, sort of samey gameplay from both sides of the field, because that's what it calls for at the top level meta, is a fundamental understanding of your characters and knowing when to kind of make those pushes and when to make those callbacks. They lose a little bit of that experience, but honestly, the Bees advantage kind of swinging in favor of Team Wawa right there. It's actually really good for them. It means that they're going to be able to come back in this set, and of course we're seeing a little bit more of this passive gameplay, I would say, for the most part, coming into the 720 Bs. Are we going to see the rotations down? Yes, it looks like everybody's starting to come down. Parasite staying up top, Venusaur making his way back into the jungle, and actually down here on bottom, Team Parasite getting pushed back a little bit by the likes of Ninetales, Blissey, and the Hoopa on that left-hand side. That's Team Wawa, who's trying to come out with the Bees, but it looks like Nebula got a majority of that right there. Good stuff pushing on her, and the Hoopa just with that amazing berry, but it's not going to be enough to save that Blissey from imminent doom. And yeah, the callback from the Hoopa. Here comes the Hyperspace Hole, and they're actually going to be a bit behind on the rotation due to that callback. You cannot use Hyperspace Hole on the goal if you use it to call back for another 10 seconds, but they still get the jump on the Dreadnought. Amazing walking rotation right there, but it looks like Team Parasite is actually going to come in with a bit better of a positional advantage, but the Blissey from their side is going to be the first to fall, and that's going to be the Venusaur from the right side. I do believe ended up taking that. Yes, very good stuff on him. That's Team Parasite taking that first objective in the form of Dreadnought, but here comes the Petal Dance, here comes the moves from Team Parasite, trying to capitalize and score as much as possible on this. And here comes the defense. That's a Blissey. That's a Hoopa. 1, 2. Oh, what an egg. Barely stopping the score. Good stuff from Blissey, trying to mitigate the damage and the losses that they take from not being able to get there. But already seeing level 10 on that Venusaur is going to be really, really critical for Team Parasite, and good stuff staying in this game after losing a little bit of that early experience advantage from scores mostly on the top half. Speaking of scores on the top half, here comes the Lucario, here comes the Frog, getting some junk in there and really trying to make sure that they're able to maximize what they're able to get off of this Rotom. Coming in, there's only 9 left, but here comes the Petal Dance and the Rollout coming through, actually gonna scare that jungler off, and now it's just Lucario to defend against 2, which normally is something he can deal with, but when you have Petal Dance like that, oh my goodness, that's going to be amazing defense coming out, or amazing pressure coming out from Team Parasite, trying to get those scores and end up getting 40, but this good defense coming out from Chunks is going to mitigate that at least for a little bit. But yeah, unfortunately not rotating in time as Team Wawa, and once again they are behind when it comes down to the Rotom fight going up top. They're just not going to be positionally able to get there in time, but it doesn't even look like they're concerned. Second Dreadnaught's coming in 22 seconds, and we see the team fight actually shifting to the bottom. We'll let the top rock for a little bit because the positional advantage is actually going down to, Team Wawa. And here comes the hyperspace hole. Everybody kind of mixed feelings on the rotation right now, and we see the 3 from Team Parasite going down for Dreadnought. In the meantime, this Rotom is just going to go hands down for free at the hands of Wawa, but Team Parasite with a hyperspace hole and the calls from these Hoopas are going to be huge, and the left side team actually stealing that from Team Parasite. That's Team Wawa doing an amazing job of stealing that with the Hoopa Unbound. Going to come out, getting a lot of trades here. Nothing substantial in terms of score. A couple of kills here and there, but really amazing stuff, evening the playing field as far as those advantages are able to go. With taking that second Dreadnought, and still Rotom has not been taken down yet by either team at this point in time. And we see yet another Hoopa callback. Getting that health and making an amazing push is Team Wawa here on the bottom. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3 scores in, I believe they were able to get off of that, and actually able to hold an advantage. Good stuff, Team Wawa. And now here comes the hyperspace hole. They're all rotating. They're gonna get top Rotom here. That's the first time Rotom's been touched, so there's only gonna be 1 this game. But look at Team Wawa right now. Just absolutely incredible stuff that they're able to pull off. And look at that, they're able to secure that Rotom objective. That's 2 out of the 3 objectives so far on the side of Team Wawa, and Parasite gonna have to defend with the Eldegoss, the Hoopa, and the Blissey. This means that Wigglytuff trying to contest in the center here and to perhaps mitigate a scoring opportunity, because they really don't want to let Team Wawa capitalize on this pressure that they've been able to put out. Here's the Lucario up top, the rollout in the middle, not going to get the exploitation off the wall, just going to bounce out of the way, and everybody's farming for experience right now, as we're 45 seconds into this next Zapdos fight, but we do have to pay attention. That Dreadnought is coming soon, and look who's got the positional advantage with Ninetales and that Greninja. Ending up taking down the Eldegoss. There's the Hoopa as well. This Dreadnought's probably going to go, or definitely going to go in favor of Team Wawa. That's 3 out of the 4 objectives in their favor, but they're opting up top. That's Team Parasite to end up trying to even things out with the goals and score, crucially, before that dreaded Zapdos fight. They are 150 points down. When it comes to the Zapdos fight, they're going to have an extra goal that they need to score in order to maximize their advantage from Zapdos. Here comes the Hoopa Unbounds, and the positional advantage is once again actually in the favor of a Team Parasite right here, pushing Team Wawa back 100%. But here comes the Ninetales and the Hoopa coming up the bottom, but very good coordination. That's 4 players to take on this Greninja up top. And wow, one Wigglytuff with Dazzling Gleam is able to hold off the other 2 from being able to do too much of anything. Here comes 4 members now of Team Parasite, able to take down pretty much the rest of the pretty much the rest of Team Wawa, and Zapdos is going to fall anytime now. You still have the Hoopa there, but he's going to fall to Petal Dance, and now you given time for the Blissey and the Lucario to come in. Not taking that Zapdos might have been a mistake on Team Parasite's part, because now Wawa has a little bit of a chance at it. Lucario is really great at Secures, and they are actually able to get that Secure, but not before falling, so this is actually going to be a little bit of defense that's having to be played, despite them winning the Zapdos, because they cannot defend all the goal zones. Hoopa's going to defend the one up top, and Ninetales is going to defend the one on bottom. There comes the Hyperspace Hole in order to get the defense, and the Ninetales is there, but it's not going to stop the Venusaur. That's 100 points in. In the meantime, on the other side of things, Greninja scoring, getting the Secure in and of himself, and now we see a team fight that's 317 coming from Team Parasite, but they're still 7 points behind in an extremely close game. Now they're even further behind thanks to scores from the Greninja and a nice callback there. They're trying to get all the experience that they can. That's Team Parasite wanting to score into this bottom goal zone, but the Hoopa Unbound's going to come out and quell any chances, and we're going to a Game 3, baby. Congratulations to Team Wawa, bringing it to Game 3. Let's go. Good stuff there. And now we are headed Game 3 in Winners Finals. The winner of this is moving on to winner's side of Grand Finals, and the loser will be in Losers Finals. We will be right back. Alright, we are back, and I'm going to be reading the chat right now. Thank you so much, Coinsy, for the follow. I absolutely appreciate you. Greninja didn't even get into the fight. Yeah, unfortunately. Was just able to sneak behind and get those scores in. Team Wawa should have lost. Would played like it was a solo queue. I feel that, man. I feel that. But you know what? It just means that you gotta account for everything, honestly, because they did win Zapdos. It is much more traditional for them to be the aggressors, but they didn't have the amount of players. So their team was able to kind of push that aggression, Team Parasite, on scoring, but because they didn't win Zapdos, they weren't able to get those secures, so it left time for someone to sneak behind and get the scores. It was actually a very good play. A very good play from Team Wawa there. Good stuff, and they will be coming in soon. How's everybody doing right now? We excited for this game number 3 between our two top contenders at the moment in time? I know I am. And then after this exciting match, we're going to see the match We're going to see the match between Team OTN and Team Colture, both players that we've seen in the tournament series before. So good stuff to them. Yo, what's up, Kumba? Good stuff. Yep, that's Team Wawa. Absolutely. Great stuff coming out. Y'all were absolutely amazing. Y'all were absolutely amazing out there. You got another game to play. Got another game to play. Let's get it going. No Hoopa this time, though. No cheese. No cheese. And that's yet another time that Parasite is going to ban Hoopa, because their rotations are really, really good without Hoopa. So I feel like putting Hoopa on the table just gives a hard time. So yep, right now we have Game 3 between Team Wawa and Team Parasite, the winner of which will move on to Grand Finals. The next set we're playing after, as you can see in the bottom there, is Team Culture versus Team OTN, that's Ninja Otter, will be losers semifinals. Yep, the set is currently 1-1. You are absolutely correct. And once we get our thumbs up, yep, we got our thumbs up. They are all ready to go. We got all of our players in here. Let's go ahead and get the match going. Rocking and rolling. No Hoopa this game, though. We're going to have to see this adaptation come out from our teams here. Especially from Team Parasite just not able to come out with the last one. And a bit of a surprise, honestly. Yo, what's up, Mighty Wolf? Absolutely appreciate you for stopping by. Y'all are ready for the Otternauts? So am I. That's going to be a hype set coming up. But first, we got one more game to play between Team Parasite and Team Wawa. Here it goes. And it looks like from that left side team, we're going to see Absol, Blastoise, Eldegoss, Serena, and not sure what the last two are going to be. Oh yeah, that's going to be Blissey right there. In the meantime, from the other side, it's going to be Blissey, Alolan Ninetales, Lucario, Greninja, and Eldegoss. So very weirdly similar lineups as far as the way that their compositions are going to go, because it looks like they're going to have a lot of CC, though I will say that the Absol probably does better in terms of the damage than that Ninetales will end up doing, but the Lucario is also a bit more solid on top. Alright, yep, let's go ahead and get right in here in this game. Good luck, everybody. Wow, and it looks like, yeah, that Squirtle's gonna go down. It's just gonna be the Serena solo top against Lucario, and we see that Frogadier Absol jungling on left to right sides respectively, and it's gonna be Team Wawa getting the jump on that Adeno there, and the Blissey able to get the secure. In the meantime, the aggression, which side is it gonna be pushed on? Ooh, not sure. They tried at it from that left-hand side, but it's actually going to be end up being Team Wawa getting that early experience advantage and pushing on that aggression early. They have that coordination, and unfortunately, Team Parasite just did not have the HP to play with, and they're going to come out better with it. In the meantime, coming up top, it looks like the junglers are already ready to go. That Lucario pushing that Serena so far into their goal zone, a hard punish for them getting in there. But a nice stack from Absol is going to come out and just barely going to survive that situation. What a recognition of the overextension from Team Wawa on Team Parasite. And yeah, they are actually able to successfully take that Absol down. In the meantime, going back down on the bottom here, Team Wawa once again trying to get the jump. off. And Team Parasite, I believe, was able to get the secure there. And we're just seeing so many players fall here on the top. Oh my goodness, the top is really where the action's at right now, which is absolutely insane to say. Yeah, Absol punishing the Frog for trying to get his stacks in. Then it's Absol versus Lucario, who's got the better damage, burst damage, and I would have to say it's the Absol, because there goes Lucario, and there's a stack coming out from Parasite. On the bottom here, they're playing passively as all hell, but you get into the top gameplay right here, and you are seeing absolutely insane trades coming off early up top, and we're actually seeing a relatively early rotation on the bottom with the Serena and the War Turtle coming off, and a rotation in jungle that's no longer an Absol there, that is a Serena taking it, and what interesting in top level recognition from our players there. Here comes the push is starting. It's the 3v2. The B's coming in 20 seconds and a little bit more aggressive than you would expect for this sort of weird period of time in between the experience. But here comes the Adeno, and that Ninetales is going to get the better of it. They're pushing hard. Wawa is pushing Parasite back, and they're actually playing really coordinated right now. But here's the 4-on-3 with B's coming down. They steal the Adeno on the right-hand side, but B's going in favor of Team Parasite, and now are we going to see a bit of a push? Here comes the shields, the safeguard from the Blissey, going to allow a little bit of a top-level positioning for this Dreadnought, but it looks like as far as it goes, Team Wawa actually has the better edge of it. They're going to get started on it right now. Here comes the Aldegras and Absol and the Blissey from that left side trying to contest it. But yeah, Team Wawa just able to get the secure. Very good stuff from them. Here come the Unites. That Absol's going to be the first one to fall. But so is everyone from Team Wawa, it looks like. And oh my goodness, what a trade. So even though they were able to secure that Dreadnought fight, the score advantage is now going in favor of that left side team. That's Team Parasite with a KO streak of 4. Really nice stuff as we see teams rotating top, getting ready for the next fight. We see experience coming online, and wow, what a punish coming out on bottom once again. Now it's going back the other way around, and Team Wawa is getting a big punish on the scoring efforts of Team Parasite once again. See if they can push that experience advantage that they got from securing the Dreadnought. But up top, you just have to be wary of the fact that Serena got a free score and is actually able to take down that top level goal zone, and they're going to get Rotom uncontested. So we have this fight down here on bottom to try and see which side is able to take that first tier goal zone first on bottom. But on top, you have a Rotom heading for that second tier goal zone, and now you've committed 3 characters. That's Alolan, Ninetales, Lucario, and Greninja, all to defending this Rotom with the big push. Here come the Unites. That's the Serena Unite here on the Lucario, and he's actually going to be able to just barely dash out of there and live. Very good positioning and maneuverability by him. Here comes the Absol Unite trying to continue the push onto this Frog, and he's not quite going to fall. Very good weaving in and out by him, and the Absol's going to fall. And this Lucario stays alive, and they're going to be able to secure, make sure that they don't take this Rotom. Everybody on bottom now just farming, getting ready for that Dreadnought fight coming in 10 seconds, and I would say the positional advantage certainly in favor of Team Wawa at this point, which is really good for them. You want to get as much of that experience as possible. Here they are, and they're going to push the enemy Eldegoss away. Team Parasite taking a little bit of a back seat. It looks like they're going more or less for steals and secures in this match, and I'm not sure how that's gonna affect the matchup. Dreadnought is just barely tapped, but it looks like everyone is going to fall down on Team Wawa, getting a little bit too antsy on the jump. But they still have 3-on-4, now 3-on-5 to survive and try and take another crack at this Dreadnought. Here comes that left side team. That's Team Wawa, or that's Team Parasite, able to get the secure thanks to the Serena's amazing stomp, and now they're able to push in the scores thanks to a couple handy kills from that Absol on the Blissey and the Ninetales there, pushing that Eldegoss all the way back and winning and securing that bottom tier goal zone. Now the advantage as far as scoring goes certainly in that left side favor, and experience probably as well at this point with the amount of kills that they've been able to get. And now it's just farming time, getting ready for that second Rotom fight here up top. And of course that Lucario unfortunately pushing a little bit too far. Here comes the Aura Sphere Unite, but he's still gonna fall coming up the middle, and now it's 3 people from Team Parasite able to get the secure on this Rotom. No one is there from Team Wawa, but instead they opt to score on bottom, stack as much as possible, and unfortunately only going to get an overstack of 2 due to a miscommunication. Now they're just going to try and get as much experience as possible, but here comes this Rotom coming up the top side now. And it's going to have to be defended by 3 members of Team Wawa and 3 members on the push for Team Parasite. And this arena has been giving them heck all throughout the games. And yeah, they're actually able to go ahead and push that in thanks to the stomp from Serena. That is a middle tier goal zone on top broken, and a 166 point advantage for our teams on the left-hand side. That's Team Parasite, once again showing that amazing coordination skill. When you take Hoopas off the table, there's no question what they're able to do. And now everybody's just farming up, getting ready. I'm not sure if anyone's going to opt to burn that Dreadnought on bottom. It's going to be quite tight to be able to get it. It's going to come at 2:23, giving 23 seconds only to be able to secure it. Might not be ideal to go for it. Might be better just to kind of wait things out for the Zapdos fight, and that's exactly what Team Parasite opts to do, opting to take bushes and take these secures, and Blastoise is going to be the first one to try and poke out here. Ninetales not biting. Here comes the Serena up top. Now here comes, oh, there's the Water Spout Hydro Pump. And there he goes. He's running in. Here come the Unites, and the team fight's happening up top. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Unites already coming out up top here, and it looks like the positional advantage as far as Zapdos goes is certainly in the favor of Team Parasite, but we have a little bit of an HP advantage on that Ninetales, and the first one to fall is going to be the Eldegoss, though, in favor of Team Parasite. Team Wawa is going to have to back up a little bit. The Blissey Unite coming out and the safeguards to keep them alive, but that's another one down and another one down, and look at that. You have Lucario coming in, trying to get the secure and the steal and keep things alive, keep the Greninja alive for the rest of the team fight, and they're actually able to out-damage Team Parasite and be able to take on for a little bit longer. This allows time for the Eldegoss to come in and contest Zapdos. We have a bit of a reset here as everyone's starting to come back in. That is a 3v2 as far as the jump goes, and now it's actually in favor of Team Wawa now, coming in on the Zapdos. Here's the Serena to secure the Eldegoss. A very good kill there. Now it's starting to even things up a little bit of a reset, and here's all 5 members of Team Parasite, and there goes the Serena. There goes the Blissey. And that is it right there. There are 5 members, but they're not pushing on the Zapdos because they don't have to. They understand that Team Wawa's the one that has to make a move here because they're behind in points. And they have to make sure that they're able to get the secures here. Oh my goodness, no one is touching the Zapdos right now. Absolutely immaculate defensive gameplay is just coming out from that left side team. That's Team Parasite, honing in this 166 point advantage. Here comes all 5 members of Team Wawa, though, trying to get a secure, and Unites are popping up again. There's the Eldegoss, but he is going to fall up top. Here comes everyone else from the right hand side. That Absol's going to put in the work, but he is going to fall. Now you have the Blissey and the Ninetales trying to get push on that Blastoise, and yeah, they're not going to be able to get Zapdos and secure in time. That's just going to be a victory. Wait. Yeah, that's just going to be a victory for the left side team. Team Parasite coming down to the wire there because they did secure that Zapdos, but they weren't able to get the scores in time. Good stuff to them, and that's going to be a dub for them. And congratulations as well for Team Wawa making it this far. We will see you again in the Losers Finals. We will be right back with the next set. Alright, we are getting these characters in here. We are seeing the Espeon coming out once again from both teams, actually. The new character in the game. Love to see it. He swapped off of it. I'm not a fan. Nope. Rooting for Culture now. Nope. Rooting for Culture. Nope. You gotta play the newbie. Nah, I'm just kidding. We're gonna have the most unbiased professional commentary that we can possibly provide to you at 9:30 at night with a lost voice. Let's get it going, y'all. So yeah, it looks like the Otternauts are going to come out with a bit more of a traditional set with that Hoopa, Blissey, Serena, Venusaur, and Pikachu on the other side of things. We got Hoopa, Ninetales, Blissey, Greninja, and Aegislash. So bit of the old meta versus the new meta sort of thing going into this matchup. Culture in favor of the new meta with that Aegislash dealing the damage. And probably Greninja in the jungle, and I'm imagining probably Venusaur in the jungle for the side of the Otternauts. Let's get it going. Yup. I called it because I know my stuff when it comes to Unite. That's Venusaur, that's a future Greninja right there, getting their stuff going, and we see 1-1-3s. Once again, these teams not wanting to mess around and experiment with different layouts too much. The 1-1-3 seems to be working out the most here in this tournament today, but it is always interesting to see these new strategies come in, as we see Team Culture actually pushing on the aggressive first. That's that right-hand team, and going to kill the Blissey and steal the Adeno off of that, and their Blissey is on a Skittle right now and is actually going to die too, so they trade blows right there, but the experience advantage, of course, they stole that Adeno. The slight advantage, unless this Hoop is able to steal with an Astonish? No, not able to get it. Very good secure coming out from that future Ninetales, and we see a little bit of an experience advantage coming out from that right side. Little bit. Up top here, we already see the level 5 Frog coming out, and junglers, of course, almost always rotating top here in this tournament as we get ready for those 850Bs. Here it comes. Venusaur gonna be the first to hit it. Sorry, Ivysaur, excuse me. And that Aegislash is actually going to fall, which is quite surprising given how much damage he's generally able to put out and that survivability he usually has. But I guess it doesn't really matter when you're scoring 42 points off the bat up top. And it's going to be a very interesting punish coming out in the Serena trying to end off this Frog. Ooh, but Sword coming in just in time, and they re-secure a lot of that lost experience with that double kill right there. Very good stuff from the Aegislash, and the Frog's going back to jungle in the meantime. We actually see a bit of a rotation coming up here on the side with that Ivysaur going up the middle, and I thought they were all going to go up top just for a second, maybe get those secures, maybe some kind of push on top. Maybe that's the kind of strategy that they're trying to implement, but no, we're going back to a bit more of a traditional game plan with the 1-1-3. Not too much, nothing fancy, and you don't gotta be when you're making it this far in tournament. Securing the 4th place in the bag is both of these teams, so really good stuff to both of them, and I think it's just fitting that both of the team captains here, Culture and Ninja Otter, are both playing the Hoopa, by the way. But let's get it going as we're getting ready for this 720Bs. Here comes the Thunder from the Pikachu, but the callback is going to be enough for them to be able to regain their health. And Pikachu, unfortunately, taking the L right there. Here come the Bs, though. Blissey's on both sides. That's excellent work from both of them. You can take that pun to the bank because that right side is taking the Bs and actually pushing TC Teabags. Yes, I will say that out loud the correct way because why not? That's their name. Actually pushing him all the way back into the goal zone, and now I would say they have the positional jump on this Dreadnought coming in. Yes, that is Team Culture getting started on it early. Here comes the call from the Hoopa. No hyperspace hold to call back, though. And now it's going to be that right side team, that's Team Culture, getting the huge secure on that Dreadnought, and it really wasn't too much of a fight. They were able to just kind of push their 5v4 advantage into the bank, but not too many kills either. Now we're actually going to go ahead. Are we going to leave the 8 behind? Yeah, we're going to leave the 8 behind, not let this bottom team get the Adenos, and here comes the hyperspace hole and the rotation, but it's a defense on Rotom because good on the Serena for recognizing the situation from Team Otternauts, actually able to secure that objective in their favor. But in the meantime, we're still seeing a bit of a skirmish here on the bottom as teams are trying to get set up and regain their experience. put up their defenses for those next team fights. But it's been an otherwise very passive game so far as the bottom game is concerned. But in some point through all of that talking, top was able to just be broken by that right side team. And we don't know how, because they didn't secure Rotom, but there sure was a little something going on, and we'll find out what it is, I'm sure. A little bit of the sauce, but here comes the Serena right now, trying to punish the Aegislash for a little bit of over-aggression. Here comes his Unite to actually get in on both of them. That is a Venusaur down. That is a Serena down. Yep, very good stuff, and the sword is barely going to come out with it. Of course, those secure kills are going to matter a lot in terms of experience, especially with how close this game is so far. It may not look that way as far as the points go, but from a positional standpoint, I would say that things are not completely lost for Team Otternauts necessarily. You see a lot of those tactical advantages coming out, but that experience and those points are certainly currently in the favor of that right-hand team, because they're just pushing so much aggression right now here in this game, and already just forcing out the Hoopa Unbound from Team Otternauts early on to kind of get this push, and now they have the jump on Dreadnought as that Ninetales is overextended, needing Unite to survive, but that Pikachu's going to take him down. That's going to be the first one to fall. The Serena's going to be second, though. On the other side of things, here comes the Hoopa Unbound from Colture, and now the Dreadnought's half gone, but with the definite advantage being to that right side team, that's Team Colture. Not able to get the secure. What a steal from Ninja Otter there, and actually going to overstack this goal by 42 points, though. A really nice steal, all things considered, but just were not able to come out with it. Is that left side team going to lose that bottom goal zone? But they have a little bit more to catch up as far as experience, and now they're going to push hard on this Rotom. Here comes the Serena in to try and steal, and unfortunately a miscalculation is going to cost death, and that's Team Culture taking it to the top. It's going to that second tier goal zone. Here come out the Unites. That is an Aegislash Unite right there. Try and get a retreat. They're actually not going to push on this, but it is securing 3 Pokemon. That's a Venusaur, Pikachu, and Hoopa, all left at the defense. In the meantime, you see those core fishes are falling in the middle, and that experience advantage is slowly and being more and more ensured on that right side team. They've yet to drop a goal zone, which is going to be incredibly important. Coming into this last fight here for Zapdos. It means more goals that you have to attend to. It also makes it a little bit more difficult to defend, but when you're this far behind on points, you really have to get those secures on Zapdos, and this huge push coming up top is going to be a good start of it from that left side team. That is Team Otternauts coming out with a very good push up top, and trying to even things out a little bit more as far as those goal zones go, but it looks like it's going to come down to this Dreadnought fight as far as that third objective push is going to come around. Excuse me, 5th objective push, third Dreadnought coming down. It looks like at the current moment in time, that right side team not even worried about it necessarily, but they do have a positional advantage if they want to take it, and that's all 5 of the members going through that hyperspace hole. That's Team Culture right there, going to end up in the positional advantage to take this Dreadnought, and they are going to burn right through it. That left side team actually capitalizing a little bit and wanting to take that top goal zone. A very interesting strategy. It means less that you're going to have to deal with later on in terms of scoring. And yeah, 22 points left on that top goal zone. It means you're going to get a big overstack later on when it comes to that Zapdos fight. But with 10 seconds left to go, the Serena dying is not what you want to see, and now Team Culture is fully positioning themselves and commencing fourth and securing the Zapdos, and they do have a very slight lead in terms of points, so it really does come down to the Zapdos secure, and I think they know it, because here comes the Hoopa Unbounds. That's the right side team and the left side team. Oh my goodness, that's 3.5 dead. The Hoopa Unbound not going to do much when your whole team is dead, and that was a very good and aggressive push coming out the top, but the Serena steal. Oh my goodness, Serena able to get in there and just steal the Zapdos, but there's no teammates alive to capitalize, so they're still going to have to play a little bit of defense. Here comes people on the top and the bottom, but that left side team does have the scoring advantage. Somehow, miraculously, through all of that, Serena was able to get the secure and the score, and they're able to defend all the people on top. In the meantime, Blissey is the only one on the bottom left alone with the Ninetales and the Aegislash, having to contest with both of them coming in for the scores, but they don't have a Zapdos to help them get those scores in. They need to get it raw, and they're not going to be able to do it. That left side team actually going to be able to steal away that victory with the amazing play from the Serena. And now it's, for the first time of the game, Team Colture playing from the back foot. They need to create a push now, and I think they know it. Here comes 3 up the bottom. In the meantime, you have the Blissey and the Venusaur already on the bottom left-hand side, trying to defend. That is a 4-on-2 coming out, but of course the jumps are going to matter. Oh no, and they're not nearby the goal zone. Here come the Unites. Almost got a sneaky score in there while they were trying to build up the Unites, but the Thunder from Pikachu is just going to demolish them. All the amount of damage that does is absolutely incredible, and that's a 1, 2, 3, 4 kill streak coming out, and that is going to be a surrender because they know at this point it's over, and that is good stuff to Team Otternauts, taking game number 1 in this set in the most improbable of fashions with the craziest Serena play that I've ever seen. Absolutely insane stuff coming out from that Serena, able to get the secure and stealing that Zapdos away and just scoring enough to get the victory. Everyone coming back in time, the pieces fell in place, and I don't care what this win screen says, because in my heart, Kazuki Dude was able to be the MVP in my heart. That was an amazing, immaculate play from the Serena, able to turn that game around. We will be right back with game number 2. We'll see what kind of plays we're able to come out with here. What kind of adaptation is going to be made on the side of Team Colture? What adjustments they need to be made, and it looks like they're going to be making a switch over to that Sylveon. In the meantime, because Slowbro is back on the table, Otternauts are ready to go with it. They're Slimp with the Slowbro. And that's the adjustment they're going to make to their game plan. So we see a little bit of switches from both sides, and of course, everybody ready in chat. I see a lot of people ready for Colture. Yes, absolutely. Kazuki MVP of the year, baby. Culture's gonna silence them. They're gonna get the reverse sweep. We'll have to see what happens. Let's get it going. Game number 2 between our competitors. Oh my goodness. I can't wait. This is gonna be exciting. This is gonna be an exciting match going on here. Alright, who's the jungler that's gonna be coming out for this? The left-hand side. Yes, it's gonna be the Frogadier versus the Venusaur once again. No surprises there, but this time the Sylveon is going to be the one popping up top here. Getting everything ready and able to beat out this Serena. In the meantime, secures on the bottom. Looks like it's going mostly in the favor of Colture from a positional standpoint, actually trying to get the secure, but I believe the Slowbro got that, but ends up killing the Blissey in an early stack for the Blissey. That's Cliff Kills TV getting the stack in instead, and able to secure both of those Adenos. Is that right side team. Very good stuff to them. I'm pretty sure they were able to get those secures. No, actually, they were only able to get one of those secures. So that was a nice steal from that left side team. My apologies. Excuse me there. And we will get it ready. Junglers are rotating back up top for Bees. We are sitting in bushes and we are ready to go. That is a Serena, a Venusaur, a Froakie, and a Sylveon all getting ready for these Bees here. Hyper Voice is going to come out, but the Serena Stomp is going to get a lot of those secures. Not sure if it got them all for the Bees, but here comes the push from the Sylveon trying to get stuff started. In the meantime, here on the bottom side, we see a big push coming in from Team Colture. That's that left side team pushing Team Otternauts right back into their goal zone and trying to steal their Adenos again. They're really pushing the initiative here on the bottom, and that's really good for their confidence as to what happened in the last game. They're not letting it shake them at all whatsoever, and they want to just keep a level head coming into this next fight. Ninetales is going to push back, going to get the call back from the Hoopa. In the meantime, they're going to be kept at bay with that Astonish from said Hoopa. That's Colture on that left-hand side. Oh, a little bit of an overextension from Otternauts. not quite going to get punished the way that you would expect, but here it is regardless, and now we see those 720Bs are going to be coming up. What kind of rotations are we going to see? That Frog looks like it's coming down, but it looks like that Venusaur is coming up. That leaves the Sylveon by themselves, and as good of a character as Sylveon is, I'm not sure how they're able to deal with this level of CC that they're going to have to put out. Here comes the double berries, and yeah, that's just going to be scores. No, unfortunately, Serena walking right into the Hyper Voice. An unfortunate misplay is going to even things out. But, and here on the bottom side, Team Culture is just completely taking over the initiative entirely, getting steals on pretty much everything that's available to them. Here come the 720Bs. They're able to secure the Adeno up top. No, not quite yet, but it looks like a lot of those Bs are going to the left-hand side, and a nice callback to restore that HP. That Slowbro is going to fall, and here comes the Hyperspace Hole coming out. Try and get as much possible from both of these teams, but it is a 5v4 that Slowbro is living up to his name and lagging behind, and that's going to leave a little bit of a positional advantage to Team Culture, who's able to just outnumber them in that hyperspace, or that Hyper Voice, actually putting in a lot of work for that left side team. And here come the Unites. There's the Petal Dance from Venusaur actually pushing in now, really well timed, with the Slowbro coming in the bottom, and now the Dreadnought kind of goes back the other way. Did the Hoopa get the secure? Did he steal it, or was the right side able to take it? No, the Hoopa actually got the steal. Very good stuff to Team Culture right there, but Otternauts is going to be the one scoring here. They're looking happy as they overstack with 13. And now they're able to break that bottom goal zone. And push further up, but they are going to back off at some point because they're very disciplined players. They know when to stop. Here comes the Hyperspace Holes, and here comes the Rotom. That left side team's been pushing on it forever. That's Team Culture doing a great job at it, and ends up winning and securing the Rotom this time. Very good stuff to them. That's both objectives going in their favor, and this Rotom's putting a lot of pressure on right now. In the meantime, 34, not quite going to be scored in. We see the overstack right there of 16, not bad with the Rotom secure, and of course getting those Bs on top, a really, really amazing push from them. Good stuff coming to them. In the meantime, here on the bottom, Team Otternauts is actually securing the Bs here, trying to get a little bit of a push. So we see the back and forth trade of those goal zones is keeping this game extremely even right now, with a particular exception of the fact that that left side team, that's Team Culture, was able to get those secures on those objectives, which is extremely important. Especially going into this middle half of the game, but a little bit of an overextension coming out from Otternauts right now here in the middle, and that Venusaur can't get away, neither can that Slowbro. The Blissy's in trouble. Here comes the Hyperspace Hole to try and call back and get some health and get a little bit of a push off for that left side team. That's a little bit of an advantage coming out from Team Culture, but they're not able to push their way through. The Blissey and Hoopa coming down just in time, but everybody's rotating back down around for the next Dreadnought objective coming down in 12 seconds. We see 3 people over there. The positional advantage is clearly in the favor of Culture, and they were able to snag the steal before that Otter is actually pushing. Here comes the Hoopa Unbound from both sides of the field. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, that is 5 players from both teams. All the Unites coming out in the midst of the chaos right now. It looks like that right side team is actually pushing their advantage a lot more, dealing the damage and actually getting the secure. And yes, that is Team Otternauts getting their first objective of the game in the form of that Dreadnought, actually pushing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kills right there. Are they going to score off of this? Well, they're certainly going to get the experience from Bees, but wisely continuing to push back off and rotate for the next objective rather than scoring. Really good recognition on their part. The only one that's HP is down is of course that Hoopa, who can call back in time. There's that Hyperspace Hole coming out from Team Culture, and Otternauts coming out from the right hand side. Getting that Rotom started, putting that pressure on a little bit and moving him over to the right side means that Culture has to kind of get a little bit of a push here, and that Hyperspace Voice is definitely going to be the damage to do it, and they didn't push at all on Rotom, so that's going to be Team Culture getting the secure. Now it's going to be a Slowbro and Venusaur getting the defense. They opted to get more experience from the Adenos and that Core Fish instead of securing the Rotom, which is perfectly fine if you're able to convert, and with that Hyperspace Holder set, certainly able to get the defense. That Ninetales and Sylveon aren't going to push on this at all whatsoever. Here coming up the bottom side, we see Greninja and a Hoopa with the Blissey on defense. Here comes the Safeguard. That's one egg. Did we get a second? There it is, pushing them back. Hoopa from Team Otternauts is going to be able to come out. That's a Ninja Otter. Very good stuff from him, and the callback is going to safely secure the 3 players on that left-hand side, but nothing really going to come out of the push. In the meantime, Colture has been able to come back in the points advantage due to that Rotom, but as far as experience goes, I would say it's about the same coming into this next part of the fight, and it really comes down to, do they want to push on Dreadnought or not, knowing that there's only 20 seconds to burn it. We see the Hyperspace Hole coming out, and they're actually stopping a push on top just by simply existing, but the Hyperspace Hole rotating down on bottom means that that left side team, that's Team Colture, really wants to push on this Dreadnought. 10 seconds to go. Can they secure the positional advantage? Ninja Otter is actually the first one up front with it, but yeah, definitely 5 against 4 is definitely going to be in the favor of that left side team. Hyperspace Voice is coming out for from that Sylveon, and here comes the burnt Dreadnought. Is the Serena going to be able to steal with the secure? Here comes the Pedal Dance. Are they fast enough? No, they are not. That's Team Culture securing the third Dreadnought, but here come the Hoopa and Bounce. It's actually big. They are going in for the team fight right now. No Zapdos needed, and they're trying to get all the kills secured right now, but still somehow no one has fallen yet. This is absolutely crazy right now what's going on. But it looks like it's going to happen as soon as those Hoopa and Bounce fall. The Slowbro falls, the Venusaur falls, and it's kills one after the other for both sides of the field. But it looks like that left side team, that's Team Culture, is going to be able to come out with a bit of an advantage there. The Serena's the only one left, but as we saw from the last time, the Serena's all you need, and that Serena is staying alive right now long enough to actually be able to kind of get a reset going. No, that left side team is going to be able to get the secure. What's the defense going to be coming? Here's the Pedal Dance coming on Team Culture. Wow, they are all going after that Ninetales, and that is one down, but Cliff Kills is going to secure the 100. Oh, in the center. That's actually very smart, just running straight for it instead of waiting around, and all of a sudden that is a 500 point advantage for that left side team, and I do expect to be seeing some kind of surrender here soon, because this is going to be extremely rough to come back from, but not impossible, I suppose, if they're able to get these kills and secure. But yeah, that Venusaur Pedal Dance isn't going to be enough to push back the entire team necessarily, because here comes the Ninetales, but that's one that they're going to knock down, but the Venusaur is dead too. Here's the Hoopa. He's got to push back. He's playing defense. Wow, everybody just coming in. Rotations are perfect right now, securing that they won't get them on top in this goal zone, and with only 26 seconds left to go, it's going to be extremely difficult for them to convert. In the meantime, down here on the bottom side, you see the defense being played in the form of that Hoopa and Greninja staying there, and that's just going to be it. They have no chance of scoring now, and congratulations to Team Culture. They're bringing this to a game number 3. And with 4 seconds left on the clock, we'll show you the score, and then we'll be right back for the exciting Game 3 of Loser Semis.
You win!
We still got a lot of gameplay to go. We still got a lot. We have this game, we have Losers Finals, we have Grands, and maybe even a Grands Reset, who knows? Gotcha. You know what, I am exhausted right now, so I am not thinking straight 100%, so I'm just gonna go ahead and double check. Y'all are cracked. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started, see what kind of adjustments can be made from Team Otternauts after that game. A pretty secure game from Team Culture from what I remember. You know, me and my 2 hours of sleep. Looks like we're going to see the Sylveon setup coming out once again from Team Culture. That Hyper Voice was just putting in so much work from Team Culture. That is doing an amazing job. In the meantime, we're going to see Kazuki Dude actually move back off of the Serena and into the Machamp. It might be a misplay if you ask me. But you know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding. He's very good at top lane and very good at getting those secures. So he's certainly going to be an interesting pick here in this lineup. A lot of the rest is going to be the same. but no Ninetales. No Ninetales, so here come the Hoopas.
Ready, go!
Alright, let's go ahead and get it started. I'm like 99% sure it's going to be Frogadier and Bulbasaur. Here we go. Yes, we see it. It's coming out. Those are the jungle. We're seeing the 1-1-3. We're not messing around. Here we go. First Adeno. Going into the hands of that left side team. That's Team Otternauts able to come out with it. And now they're starting to push the aggression a little bit more, even early on. My goodness. My goodness. Here it comes. And what a successful push from Team Otternauts. Really showing that they want to continue on in this tournament, and they got more to play and more to show for in this tournament. Ooh, but the Hoopa might have pushed a little bit too far, and Ninja Otter almost cutting Colture off the team captains, but not quite going to come out with it. And the nice secures coming out from that left side team. Really, really good, pushing the initiative and pushing the aggression, even if they didn't actually get the experience benefit, which I do think they did, because they didn't get those monkeys from before. Even if they don't get that benefit, pushing the initiative in something like this is absolutely insane. Oh! What a misplay! Oh no, they forgot about bees and unfortunately weren't able to get there in time to save them all. I think they stole a couple with Surf, but weren't able to get them all, but they're still pushing heavily on this Hoopa Blissey combo. But a well-timed hyperspace hole is able to get them out of there. In the meantime, here on top, we see level 5 coming out from that Sylveon, and just now getting to level 5 is that Machamp. Really good pushes from that right side, and I would argue that Sylveon is a tad bit better positionally. There come the callbacks, and that aggression once again being pushed by the Otternauts. Pushing the pace of the game, trying to get that steal with the Surf. Here comes the callback, no one's taking for it. But now, instead, the right side team, that's Team Culture, is actually going to start pushing on that Adeno a little bit more. And I'm not sure who was able to get the secure there, but they're still applying their game plan, saying, you can apply all the pressure you want, but we still take the initiative sometimes too. And actually, that Blissey, I know for sure, got the secure that time, so good stuff on them. Able to get in there, and everything started. And yeah, the callback, gonna reset the health. We have about 15 seconds until second Bs. Here comes the Adeno in the rotation. The 4-on-3 is going to be coming out, and actually we see the rotation from the Ivysaur going to top side. Here's the callback. We will see the hyperspace holes coming out here in a minute. Here is the bees though in the middle, and a nice Surf trying to come through, but I'm pretty sure that right side got the secure, and we're seeing the 3-on-4. In the meantime, these stacks are coming out, and they are taking as much control as possible on top, trying to get good secures. It looks like they're trading bottom control for top. Here comes the rotations though, and that's the left side team, Team Otternauts, with 5 trying to get in, but the positional advantage is definitely in the side of Team Culture. That's that right side team, and Dreadnought's looking kind of nasty, but that Hyper Voice, man, is absolutely insane within. The callback is going to allow for a push that they're able to score off of potentially the Safeguard. Not going to be enough to save that Blissey there, and the Machamp and the Hoopa are going to be forced back a little bit. Here comes that Unstoppable, but he is for sure stopped, and here goes this bottom goal zone down. That is an overstack of 11, securing for that right side team, and suddenly the advantage is on their side. In the meantime, I would expect some kind of rotation coming out from the left side team, that's Team Otternauts, in order to secure this Rotom and secure this top goal zone is the best way to equalize the position. But here comes the hyperspace hole a little bit sooner for that right side, and that means they're able to get the jump on the Rotom a little bit more, or get that positioning better. But here comes everyone from both sides of the team. Just kidding, it's a 3-on-3. Not everybody went through the hole. Not sure if that's a mistake or not, but here we go. Either way, that Hyper Voice is going to push back the Slowbro and allow the initiative to go to the side of Team Culture. But Team Otternauts trying to push in with that Surf, and actually going to be able to secure the Rotom there. But they're going to get killed in the process, most of them having to drive away, and now the scoring advantage is going to be on that side of that right side team. That's Team Culture, and unfortunately that Rotom may not have been worth it, because now they push the initiative, and actually the secures on top for that right side team has allowed them, despite the fact that Team Otternauts was able to get the secure on the objective, to overstack, and now suddenly they're losing both goal zones in both fronts because they wanted to push the objective, and they needed to be a lot more careful with that. But Hyperspace Hole is going to call back. Everyone's on the left side team is going to be a bit more passive right now, just getting those, getting that farm, getting experience, and getting ready for this Dreadnought, which definitely seems like Team Culture is in the ballpark of, oh my goodness, look at this amazingly aggressive positioning. I don't even think left side team's going to challenge it. Yet here comes the Hyperspace Hole, but I don't think they're going to get their hands on it. They might just burn through this Dreadnought if they recognize the situation. The amazing Hoopa Unbound is going to come out with it, and yeah, that's all 5 of the right side team on it. That's Team Culture getting the secure, and here comes the big team fight now. That's 2 KOs for that right side team, 1 for the left side team. This Hoopa is going to fall as soon as they're not unbound. There he goes, and now it's the Hoopa Unbound from the left side, actually putting in a little bit more work and a little bit more pressure, lasting longer, because he started the Unite later. This is going to allow a little bit of scoring opportunity, but not if you're just going to jump into Hyper Voice like that Venusaur. You have to be very careful. Same with the Slowbro, and an overextension is actually going to cost them an experience. Here comes the Blastoise coming in, and that's a KO streak of 4, and everybody is rotating back up on the side of Team Culture, playing absolutely out of their minds right now, not at all phased by that game 1 that was taken by Otternauts, and they are playing much more synergized coming into this game, and they are ready for this second Rotom. 4 minutes left in the match. We're going to see a lot of Unites burned here. Once again, for those of you who are not aware, Unites generally take about 2 minutes to refresh, so for the crucial 2-minute Zapdos fight, you want to have those Unites on deck. And here comes the Machamp trying to get the steal from the left-hand side, and they actually are able to come out with it, and now suddenly Venusaur is going to be pulling out that Unite to get the secures and throw off that right side team. That's Team Otternauts securing the advantage there. Very good stuff. Very nice play from that Machamp, and that Venusaur able to secure that 20 points, and of course that pressure that always comes with Rotom, but unfortunately not able to necessarily score and maximize like you would in a lot of situations. Here comes a bit of a farming time. That Blissey just sitting there menacingly. And going back to the top, we have a bit of a team fight going on, perhaps coming up with that third Dreadnought. It looks like there's a bit of a rotation going on. Of course, that left side team we already know, or that right side team we already know has the positioning for that Dreadnought. Don't even need to look down there. And that's Sylveon barely getting out of that situation, but the rotation coming in late for that left side team, and they're going to capitalize on that situation as that Blastoise from Team Culture, and they're going to get that Dreadnought secure more than likely, but I think their Team Otternauts is favoring a better position for Zapdos in favor of the experience, so Team Culture actually getting the secures there, and with all of the kills that have been going on throughout, I'm not sure the Dreadnought necessarily matters that much, because even with that, they're still about a level or 2 up as far as experience goes, despite all things considered. As far as the points go, everything is even up, and that 1 goal zone on the bottom, instead of being a weakness, is going to be a liability. It's going to be much more difficult to defend, but here come the Unites, and the Hoopa Unbound from that left side team is actually going to get things started early on the team fight coming up top, and I would say the advantage is actually to the left side team. This is so back and forth. That's Team Otternauts on the table. That Machamp is probably going to fall. No, they're just letting him by. Okay, there he goes, but that's 3 of Team Otternauts on Zapdos, but we have 3, the Hoopa Unbound, that's 4. Oh my goodness, and the secure comes out from the left side team, but do they have the manpower to score? Here's a Slowbro getting 50, there's a Hoopa getting 50, but everyone from Team Culture is coming down to try and secure their advantage that they had for most of the game, and they want to be able to come out with it. Oh no, that callback might end up costing them the scores. They're now 250 points behind or something like that. I don't know how to do math right now. Everything's going crazy right now. That left side team, Team Otternauts, is winning, and the Petal Dance is going to get the secure, and with 1 minute left on the clock, it's going to be extremely difficult, but still technically not impossible for this right side team to come out with it. We're going to see if they're going to fight it off or if they're going to surrender, and that's good stuff coming out from Team Otternauts, able to get the secure on that Zapdos. Colture is not out of this yet, though. We see they're all jumping center right now. They need to be one big unit and get one good push in order to have the potential to come back from this. They don't have 50-point secures, though. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a hard time, but they might have a shot at this if they're able to coordinate right. And it's all going to start here with the hyper voice from this Sylveon, and it looks like they're making a rotation up top. They're just all pushing, and those two people on Team Otternauts down below are going to be a liability. Here come the Unites. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Unites coming out from both teams, and amidst the chaos and everyone going down, it looks like Team Otternauts is going to successfully defend against the push, and a last-ditch effort to score another 58 points. Not going to be enough from Team Colture, and congratulations to Team Otternauts! You are moving on to Losers Finals. Good stuff, and congratulations to Team Colture making it this far. Y'all are absolutely insane, homies. For real, getting 4th place in this tournament. Y'all are insane with it. Let's see that final score, and we will be right back with the next set. GG's Colture. You're absolutely insane with it. I hope you stick around. Hope you stick around for Losers Finals coming up next. I will go ahead and take a look at these team compositions in one moment. Yep, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So it looks like we got the Charizard coming back out on the side of the Otternauts versus on Team Parasite. We're seeing a little bit of an Absol and Ninetales setup with a Mamoswine? I'm liking it. We're seeing so many Mons out here today and so many builds and setups. It's crazy. The meta, I think the meta now is more diverse than it's ever been in Unite history. If I'm being completely 100% honest with you. The only character that I think we see a whole lot of, like a lot of, is Hoopa. But other than that, it's all fair game. We see a whole bunch of Mons in the meta. Whole bunch of people in the meta. Shoutouts to Rhino. Absolutely 100%, Sandra. You right with it. And we're gonna go ahead and bring them out. Yep, Rhino's rocking the Rhino. Just kidding, it's the Mammo. Alright, let's get it going. So, yep, it is almost certainly gonna be that Bulbasaur that's gonna be jungling on one side and the Absol on the other. We're seeing the 1-1-3 is not too much of a surprise here. Charizard definitely able to fan the flames, run the top. You know how it is. And we are going immediately for that secure from those left side teammates. That is Team Otternauts. Already getting the secure on that middle Adeno. And is he overextended? Not quite overextended. Very good stuff from him, but certainly the aggression is being pushed by that right side team. That's Team Parasite securing that kill on the Slowpoke. Actually going to be huge for them. It means that they're going to have an opportunity to perhaps push on this bottom Adeno or even score. That's going to be a second kill right there, and perhaps even a third. No, Jigglypuff gets the berry on time, but that is going to be a couple of scores coming in the experience and health with it. And of course, the stolen berry from the stolen Adeno from Team Parasite. So now it's up to Otternauts to try and push the initiative and get a steal, but they really can't get in there, and now they're going to be quite a bit under-leveled coming into this Bees fight. But we're actually going to go ahead and take a look up top, because that Lucario doing an amazing job pushing those Bees to his side. And this Absol and Lucario combo having absolutely amazing damage output is going to be able to get those secures and actually be able to go in and get the kill on that Ivysaur early on, get those stacks going, get some stuff started here. Now Absol's going to steal the berry and actually continue to push on this Charmander. No reason not to, I suppose, when you got a stacking Lucario, just getting all of those points in and all of those stacking buffs. Probably some attack weight or cookie in there. Really did not see. It was on the screen though, and all of these kills coming out from the right hand side. Team Parasite is all over the Otternauts right now. Absolutely insane with it here, pushing this Jigglypuff out of the way. Gonna be running back, and that Mammo almost overextending, but does have the ability to actually get out of that situation. and get the secures. 7 minutes and 50 seconds left. We're already seeing the 4-on-3 on the bottom. Now everyone from the Otternauts absolutely committing down south, and this Eldegoss not going to be able to get away at the hands of the Wigglytuff and Pikachu. Here comes the Mammo. Wigglytuff is going to fall at the hands of the Ninetales, and suddenly the Mammo's pushing the initiative on the Slowbro. That's also going to fall. And now we just see the Ivysaur and the Pikachu left. Even in the 4v3 situation, they were able to really push their advantage and come out with it. And secure these bees. That is the right-hand side. That is Team Parasite getting that secure. But overextending a little bit too far, but they're able to pull back out of it with amazing defensive offense, which is really the best way to put it, coming into this fight. And now we are seeing the 4v5 that Charmeleon rather is going to stay on the top, get those stacks in, and perhaps secure the Rotom. That leaves a lot of room for that right side team. That is Team Parasite right now, just pulling out all the stops right now on Team Otternauts, getting that Dreadnought and of course securing it. That Ivysaur not going to be able to come in and steal it. This does leave an opportunity to score just with all that experience advantage and health. That's going to be a Mammo falling, or Mammo taking down the Pikachu, but then a fall. And of course we have the scores coming in. Here comes the Lucario putting in the work. Here comes the Ninetales. The whole squad is pulling up, and you only got 2 to defend it. There's the Jigglypuff, can barely get away from that Absol. Here comes the Unite, and here continue the scores down south. 5 points left on that tier 2 goal zone. With 6 minutes to go, that's an overstack, and you are just out of options on bottom. Absolutely insane this early on, and they're continuing to push and get the kills. This is crazy. They are just absolutely showing their dominance 6 minutes into the match, and already so many Unites are coming out, so many kills, but finally things starting to push back the other way with that Charizard Unite in terms of Team Otternauts. How are they going to be able to come out from this? They are already so far behind, but I'm sure they have some kind of strategy going, because they were able to secure that Rotom, and I'm sure able to put some pressure on the top, at least in the slightest. But that was just an immaculate push coming out from Team Parasite, what we know them best for. Here comes the Lucario ganging up on this Pikachu, bullying him, but here comes the Charizard, here comes the Lucario Unite, the 1v3, that's a Pikachu down, that's a 1v4, that's a Ivysaur down, and this Lucario essentially still got the better of a 1v4 situation, is able to secure bees on top, and there is almost no advantage right now going to that left side team. That's Team Otternauts that is so far behind right now. We are talking 200 points, but most importantly, that experience. Level 12 Lucario versus a level 7 support. Absolutely insane differentials we're seeing out here with just how much that this team has been able to coordinate and push their advantage so far. And now we're seeing that right side team, Team Parasite coming in, and that is just a free Dreadnought if I've ever seen one, because the team fights up here. The 2v4 is coming out now. The 2v5, that Ninetales is going to push down. This does allow a bit of an overstack to kind of come in for the Venusaur, kind of build up a little bit of an advantage on top, but you have Lucario scoring points in the middle of the field. This early into the game, relatively speaking, it is absolutely insane the amount of pressure that right side team, Team Parasite's been able to put off. Here come the Unites, the 4-minute Unites, but the left side Team Otternauts having the first jump on their Rotom allowed them to get the secure, and now they have to back off on that right side. That's Team Parasite having to defend with the Eldegoss and the Ninetales right there. And we are coming down to see... Yes, here comes the Charizard and the Pikachu trying to score, but the Mammo with a hard punish for it. Here comes the Lucario, and now they have to fully back off. The Wigglytuff coming in, trying to get something going, trying to support their teammates, but that's not going to be enough. That's 1, that's 2, that is 3 teammates going down. The Slowbro is going to go down next, and they are pushing all the way into the opponent's jungle, and there's literally just a Venusaur left in this jungle, and they're going to go out for him and try and steal as much jungle as possible and increase the large quantity of advantage that they have as far as secures and experience goes from winning all of those objectives, getting all those kills. There goes the push. That's 5, that's 6, that's 7, that's 8 kills, virtually uncontested with prime exception of that Wigglytuff taking it over the Lucario. But this push is absolutely huge right now. That Slowbro has no friends helping him out. That is yet another kill for their team. Here comes the Pikachu trying to get some defense going, but he's gonna fall. Here comes the Venusaur getting some defense, and finally they back off. But man, that took like 9 deaths in order for them to be able to fall back. What an absolutely immaculate offense being played right now. And now with 9 seconds to go on this Dreadnought, they don't even need to burn it necessarily, and I don't think they're going to. No, they're just going for an advantageous position here on the Zapdos, and they're going to make it as difficult as possible for Otternauts to surmount any sort of comeback here. I have to eat my words a little bit there, because of course they're ready to get that secure on the bottom there. That is Team Parasite getting the secure on that third Dreadnought. However, it was at the sacrifice of one of their teammates on top, but they're still able to get relatively decent positioning when it comes to this next fight. You have 16 seconds until you get the rest of your teammates, though, and there are 5 for that left side team. That's Team Otternauts having an opportunity of a lifetime. Here come all the Unites, and that's going to be a secure for the left side team, actually. Team Otternauts are now going to have a push, and they're killing everybody in the middle. That is 1, that is 2 down. 3 down in the 3 down for a brief moment in time, excuse me, and now they're going to try and score as much as possible. Now they're actually making a bit of a comeback with it, which seems to be the theme with these characters, because now there's 100. That's another 200. The Pikachu unfortunately going to die before he can score, and now another close game. This is a 6-point differential between these teams. Literally pretty much any score is going to come out with it, but it is that left side team, Team Otternauts, actually coming out with it despite their disadvantage the entire game. It just goes to show how much Zapdos matters. You never give up on the fight, and they just had the positional and situational awareness. I think it was an overextension to get that third Dreadnought, and they just were not in a good position coming into that Zapdos fight. But here comes the big push. Everybody's crawling up the middle trying to get some secures and some scores, and here comes the Slowbro and the Venusaur up the middle to try and stop the push. The Charizard is waiting by the goal, making sure that he is not alone when everybody's toppling him, but he is. His teammates are not there. There comes the jump from the Slowbro, ensuring the secure. And now here come all the Unites. Here comes the Scuffle, and it's actually looking like it's going in favor of that right side team, but isn't enough for them to be able to score off of that Wigglytuff, is making sure that they're not able to get in, and that is a push right there, and that is a score for the right side team. What a comeback. In the meantime, the left side team somehow able to manage to get a little bit of a score of their own, but it's not going to be enough, and now that's a small comeback coming out for the right side team. That's Team Parasite, team that was winning the whole time, and everybody's knocked out and dead, and suddenly a game that was close, back and forth at the end with the Zapdos fight, goes in favor of the team that was taking it for the majority of the match. And it's Team Parasite game 1, and potentially we're looking at one more game in the whole tournament, or could we potentially see the reset? We'll be right back with it after we see the score. So once again, Team Parasite is up right now 1-0 against the Otternauts. They only need one more game in order to take away the whole tournament. It looks like Mighty Wolf doesn't want to see that happen. We want to see the bracket reset. Of course, we want to keep playing Unite until our hands fall off. And it looks like the comp that's going to come out from the left side, that's Team Parasite, is going to involve Tree, Decidui, Aegislash. Definitely new meta stuff coming out. In the meantime, on the right-hand side, that's going to be Team Otternauts. It's going to be favoring that Machamp, Ninetales, Charizard, Hoopa, and Blissey. I will say that Charizard is probably going to end up being the one that's jungling. I would imagine Ninetales could potentially be the jungler as well, with Charizard solo top laning and Machamp going bottom. There is actually quite a few. There are quite a few different compositions that they can kind of pull out with this methodology. Scores at the top of the screen. It is 1-0 in the favor of the left side team, Team Parasite. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Espo Zero, for coming in here. All right, we're gonna get the professional commentary now. No more talking to chat. We are professionals here. And it looks like already Team Parasite is pushing that aggression and trying to control the pace of the match, and that tree coming in there, getting the secure and the steal, and actually the kill on the Hoopa back there is going to be huge for Team Parasite here at the start. And that A9 is going to be gone. So is that Blissey, and oh my goodness, they have the potential to steal even more of their stuff right now. On their right-hand side, those monkeys haven't been touched yet, and I think they noticed that. No, but they are going to go ahead and push them forward and go ahead and back off a little bit, get experience of their own. But now it's going to be Team Otternauts looking at the experience disadvantage coming into this bees fight. In the meantime, we go back up top to see two characters, one top laner and one jungler for both sides of the field, and it looks like pretty even bees coming out there. In the meantime, on the bottom, of course, that oppression coming out from Team Parasite, what they've been known best for, is controlling the pace of the match entirely. And what an amazing... Oh my goodness, that was an insane callback. Refreshes the entire situation, and now Parasite's actually able to get in and steal yet another Adeno, preventing further evolutions and further moves being put out by these characters. It's absolutely insane how much control they have over the match, even after all of this time and fighting through round one. Is just particularly astonishing to me. They've been so well coordinated in pushing their aggression this whole tournament, and only dropping 2 games the entire tournament so far. So really, really good stuff to them. Unfortunately, that Rowlet isn't going to get the call back there that he wanted, but still just so much complex, intricate game plans coming to fruition, and now we already see the hyperspace hole coming out on the side of Team Otternauts, really wanting to get this push started, and really needing to find their way in and needing to coordinate as a team, as Parasite has been doing so well so far. As far as scoring though goes, it seems like on top there's been a bit of an equalization with teams opting to do some more stacking. Haven't really been paying attention to too much of the aggression, but it looks as though Team Otternauts does have the point advantage at the moment, but I would say the experience advantage and this coordination is going to be what matters, as we see the hyperspace hole and the advantage for that left side team. That is Team Parasite, just ripping through this Dreadnought, but oh my goodness, what a steal coming out from the Hoopa. Are they going to be able to capitalize on this? That's 1, that's 2 down, that's 3 down on the left side team, and actually things are starting to turn around. Now that they got that Dreadnought on the secure, all that experience that they were missing before goes out the tubes, and they get themselves an overstack there that gives the left side team the Adenos, but also they have a huge point and experience advantage at the current moment in time. Securing that first Dreadnought was absolutely insane. And the War Turtle is going to try and get their stacks, kind of capitalize on the situation in the meantime, but is going to eat a death for it. And then here comes 6 more points into this goal zone. They're going to be able to overstack quite efficiently in the top, is Team Otternauts. Coming out the side with it, and that left side team, Team Parasite, is actually the one on the back foot after that interaction, which would probably be the first time in the set. In the meantime, an overstack of only 3, but probably favoring that Rotom going towards middle, forcing the issue to come off, as we see an Aegislash, a War Turtle, and a Hoopa having to all defend against this big push coming out from the Machamp and the Charizard. Big unites coming out here. The Charizard is going to fall, the Machamp is going to have to fall back, and that Rotom is going to be successfully defended. In the meantime, we see a lot of farm coming down south. Advantage was certainly taken from that left side team. That's Team Parasite trying to come back with it a little bit here in this match. Alright, that's all the points going to that Decidueye there. Getting the bees, getting the experience, a lot of farming going on right now. And apart from this tree, not too much aggressive zone pushing or anything like that. Mostly just sticking to your sides and getting ready and getting positions for that second Dreadnought fight. Here we are, everyone is in position right now. but it looks like that positional advantage is actually going to go to Otternauts. Here comes the Hoopa Unbound, really good stuff, and the Hoopa Unbound from a Nebula on the left side team. That's Team Parasite is going to be more successful, pulling it out later and able to get those teammates in there at the right timing, is able to secure that second Dreadnought, and here comes a big push right now, just walking up the middle, getting ready to secure that top side advantage and bring themselves back into the game as far as the points are concerned. Here comes the 40 points. Is he going to be able to get it? No, the tree not going to be able to get there, but he is pushing with Curse. In the meantime, this team fight is coming out, and I fully expect Unites to come out soon. That tree is going to fall, though. Here comes the push from the Charizard and the Unite, and the Unite from Agislash is going to whiff, just given the interaction of Charizard's amazing Unite, and that's a KO streak of 3. Now pushing and pushing more on that Hoopa. Otternauts not wanting to let this advantage go. It's the first time they've had it. It's the first time they've had it in the set, and they intend to keep it. Here is everyone from Team Otternauts right now pushing hard on this Rotom, deciding to get the kill. Here comes the Blasters to try and get the steal, but he's not ready. Here comes his Unite to try and get a little bit of defense going. He's going to end up taking down the Hoopa. Not going to take the A9 with him, but he is going to push him back, put a lot of pressure, and make it very difficult for Otternauts to capitalize on this. In the meantime, Hoopa just walking the Rotom back and getting ready to secure and kill this Hoopa off. In the meantime, misplacing the hyperspace hole, I would imagine that was meant to be put on the goal zone, but regardless, Team Otternauts has been putting amazing pressure, but slowly chipping away at the bottom side and slowly chipping away points and kind of trying to gain back that lead is that left side team, Team Parasite, who has just been an oppressive force as well. Oh my goodness, everyone coming through right now, just farming, getting ready for that team fight that's coming right now, actually, in the form of Dreadnought and Bees. Here it comes. Otternauts is ready on the draw to get that crucial experience and get those Unites built back up for the Zapdos fight, and they are actually going to pretty handily win this Dreadnought, meaning that they're actually going to secure more of those objectives than that left side team. This is huge for their team, because even though they're losing on points a little bit now, that right side team